my bag now, baby. I'm in my bag now, baby. I'm in my bag now, baby. I'm in my bag now, baby. Cause you got him on your line like looking good under the limelight. Cause you got him on your line like right, looking good under the limelight. So one time can you groove, and two-step and get loose. So one time can you groove, and two-step and get loose. I'm in my bag now, baby. 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 Shorty, I took it around the tent. Right. Nightcap, luxury suites, I put it down. Okay. Really only for 4 queens, just wear the crown. Right. No thanks needed, baby, don't make a sound. Now, watch me break it down. Lean with it, rock with it if you in the building. Middle finger to your haters if they catching feelings. Flexing on your ex, still begging for a peeling. Why? Cause you got him on your line like looking good under the limelight. Cause you got him on your line like right, looking good under the limelight. I'm in my bag now, baby. 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 Should've peeked me for the glow up. Talking sorry, now hold up. Now put your hands in the air if you really don't care like. Cause you got your move on, baby, getting that groove on. Swag dripping, now you getting your ooze on. Y'all on the water, baby, getting that cruise on.
Yeah, you hear me? You hear me? All right, cool. Fuck this nigga Colton doing.
Oh yeah. Nah, we not doing that. You heard? Yeah, the stream started. We on. I just got to make yourselves comfortable. Make sure y'all get comfortable. You feel me? If you can't hear me or can't hear me, press 1, press 2. My man Drew said he feeling comfortable. Yup. What happened? Y'all can hear Palm too? Or y'all can just hear me? I'm just trying to make sure we Gucci out here. Oh, Palm muted. That's why. Oh, all right, cool. Say something again, bro. I don't know if it's picking you up or not. I'm trying to confirm with the squad. Nah, if not, it's me. Oh, I think I know what I gotta do. Hold on. Let me see something here. There we go. Say something, my boy.
Yo.
You should be good. Say something again.
Yo.
There you go. You hear Palm yet?
Florida,
I see the levels
vibe
up.
though. Florida that's where they win Florida. They always win Florida. Ain't Florida been like a deciding factor in like the last 3 elections?
Yeah, it has been, bro.
And it's gonna continue to be the way
Oh, I think you good now, bro. You good now, baby. We in the game. Y'all ready to get started or we started?
Biden winning Texas would be crazy.
Biden win in Texas? You think so?
He up right now.
Gang here in the spot. You feel me?
That would be crazy because Texas is a pretty big Republican state.
Mm. Mm. You think he gonna win Texas though?
Nah, 0.5 is not enough. 0.5 is not enough to be up over there. He gonna end up losing Texas by like 15%.
Yo, if anybody want to join the chat, if you in our Discord, we gonna send a Zoom in there right now. So hold on, let me send a Zoom.
What'd you say?
I said if
Not
anybody
you,
that's
not you.
in the chat. Oh, my fault. I thought you ain't hear me, cuz. Hold on. If you in the Discord, I'm sending you the Zoom link so you can pop out. You feel me?
But
Yo, send out the link. Tell everybody we live. You feel me? We on.
ain't the House already the majority Democrat?
I don't know. Is it?
Yeah, I believe the House is already Democrat controlled.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope so.
because if I'm not mistaken, the House is the niggas who've been passing all of these wild COVID bills.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the Democrat. That's what the Democrats control.
Copy.
We don't got the Senate. Yo, I need us to.
Hold on, you cut off, bro. You muted.
I need us to get on the on us to the wave of putting an age limit on politicians.
Oh, facts. You got to be like at least like 35.
I want to
you feel
leave it
me?
at I want to leave the starting point at the. Cause I don't even think you got to be 35 to be like a senator. None of that shit. You could
Not
be
like the
whatever age
start.
you
Like
want.
I think the oldest you should be able to join like president and shit. You should be like youngest like 35, 40, my nigga.
Yeah, so
Like
35 is 35 right now.
35, 40, bro. Like
Not for the president, but like the president should never go past. I'm gonna put all right, 65. 65 is where you're getting old.
Yeah, that's facts.
Yeah, but like at 65, like at niggas after 65, like you're really old now, my nigga. Like
No, that's facts.
you can no way, shape, or form can relate to somebody 40 years younger than you.
No fucking
So
way.
there's no way you can lead them.
No
Like
fucking way. Actually,
we gotta come to terms with like 60 and 60 that 10 years and 60 might not be that old because we're like some of our entertainers are there.
Yeah, facts.
And we still enjoy them, we still relate to them and shit like that. But like 70, nah, my nigga, I can't relate to you. Like I have like a profound respect for you because you was here for a while.
Yeah, at some point, bro, like we gotta stop like settling for voting for these old white motherfuckers who don't really know us like that, bro. Like it's making me and my homegirls upset. You feel me?
Yo, son, me and my homegirls are very mad that we cannot. All right.
Like that ass. Like they upset right now. They not really feeling it. Hey, the Birkins is not hitting like they used to.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Shit got to get lit out here. What you been up to though, bro? We ain't chopping up in mad long, son.
Trying to get to. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Trying to get to this EDD bag.
What's that?
The unemployment shit.
Oh, okay.
Like I remember we spoke about this shit at the start, and I was like, I ain't trying to run it up too crazy, like niggas. You know, I'm just trying to eat a little bit.
A little something.
But like at this point right now, I'm just like, nah, I need to eat a lot.
A lot. Yeah, nah, son. Yo, I was just talking to Shorty about. She was like, nah, I need to milk this whole shit for everything, and that's facts,
It's a fact.
nigga. Every dollar, bro. Everybody need to
do.
milk this shit for everything is worth, my nigga. Fuck
Niggas
that.
gotta come out of this shit in way better positions.
That ass. Because my nigga, at the end of the day, it's
relying on some profiles and shit like that.
Nice.
About to try to run these shits as much as I can.
Let me get $1, son.
Nigga, you already know what's going to. Yo, bro, I should have a 20 pack in like 7 days actually. So I'm gonna throw you a nice little something for the next the next spread love.
Oh yeah.
Niggas might be able to buy somebody a PlayStation.
I hope so, bro. The Christmas one, we trying to do something dope, man.
Well, you already know I'm trying to give away a PS, so
my nigga Jalen said I'm rooting for y'all. We out here. Facts.
yeah,
Nah,
man,
we
I'm
trying to do some
trying,
dope
man.
shit for Christmas. Like we trying to like make sure a couple families.
Listen,
is
I ain't
good.
even gonna play around. Like I'm out here for the people, my nigga. And anybody that's trying to get a little bread in their pocket, just contact me, man. I'll send you a profile for $7. No funny shit.
Facts though.
And these is hitters. No funny shit. 17 to 20.
Feel me? You know what I'm saying? We'll talk offline, you feel me? But yeah, man. You want to get into this election shit at all? Or you want to wait till Fred get here? Fred said he gonna pull up midway though, so you feel me? We can do our own thing, my nigga.
Yeah, we can get into a little bit of that bullshit.
Yeah, let's get into a little bit of that bullshit, man.
My pops tried to wild on me the other day, bro.
Well, what happened?
My little sisters don't want, like, my little sister's not with the voting shit.
Right.
And this
Yo,
is
what live stream should we be watching, bro? What you want to watch? Let's see. Election coverage.
Not available. Whatever.
Election coverage. They got Yahoo Finance.
That's too crazy.
Time, USA Today, PBS News Hour.
I just got word in my earpiece.
What up?
Chat, I said I just got word in my earpiece. I look like a dickhead.
Nah, we on the news. We on the news, nigga. We on the news. It's lit.
I just got word from backstage. Chadwick Boseman's brother was like fighting, had his own cancer battle for the last 2 years.
Oh, word? I didn't know that.
What the fuck? Yo, cancer really be trying to take out whole families.
Mm-hmm.
That's a raw motherfucker, son.
Yo, chat. Which one should we be watching? Yo, y'all want to watch ABC? Palm, you got to vote on this too. USA Today, NBC. Let's see. PBS got a live stream right now.
I'm gonna say the most unbiased is probably gonna be PBS.
PBS, right? All right, cool.
That's gonna be the most unbiased live stream we're gonna get.
I'm opening it up right now.
We're able to declare Mike Rounds. AP is saying that Mike
you
Rounds
can hear it?
has won
You can't hear it, right, Palm?
In South Dakota.
I can open that shit up on
This
my
is his
screen.
second time defeating
I'm gonna share my screen with
Dan
you.
Allers, who's a former video store owner.
I think I can hear it once you do
But
that.
at this point, with 4% of the expected vote in, it's a pretty big margin, but still very, very early. That's South Dakota, the Mount Rushmore state. Wyoming, Cynthia Lummis. This is an open seat. Mike Enzi, the former senator, is retired.
I don't know.
Congresswoman Cynthia Lummis.
First of all, this is a white bitch, Merav Ben David. She looked like she be hunting people.
The Enzi seat was challenged by Merav Ben David.
Let me turn it down. Yo, chat, y'all can hear it? Let me know.
Again, not a surprise. The Republicans
look at these white bitches
into that seat.
Oh no, they left the screen already.
Now some governor race results. North
Who this
Dakota.
white nigga?
This is the race between Doug Burgum, who is the incumbent. He was challenged by.
Oh, that nigga won governor of North Dakota. Oh, this is what they got running the Dakotas.
Expected vote in.
That nigga look like racism is on the menu.
The winner, he will hold on to that governor's seat. That's a hold for Republicans.
Yeah, this is nasty work,
now
bro.
you can see across the country. This is what the map looks like at this hour.
Hold on, let me make this shit bigger.
In the Senate, again, the states that are
the Democrats is leading the Senate.
That we are
Democrats is
either
leading the Senate, though.
The senators not up, or we're not able to call them. These are the results we have tonight, and at this point, the Democrats 42.
No, not you. Talking to backstage.
38. We were looking.
I said the Democrats is leading the Senate.
Oh, fire.
Looking at a Senate that today is 53 to 47. We're very much looking to see those races in the middle. We're not able to call them. They're going to determine the.
What's navy blue?
In the Senate.
Who them? Those the Hoovers?
We are. We're to put all of this in some context.
Navy blue meaning they didn't get decided yet.
Lisa, and to see what you have in store.
Let's go.
Let's go, Lisa. Oh, she got the fly kicks on, boy.
Here is a look
nah, they not drippy at all. Wow, white women so undrippy, son.
Count starts. Oh, it looks like we're
Martha McSally. That's the most Caucasian name I ever heard in my life.
And another key place, of course, is Texas. We do not yet
All right, they
have
said it's
in
clear
a
on their
call from
ends. They can
AP
hear
in the
it.
state of Texas. Lisa, this is the state. President Trump won by 9
My face
points
shiny
in
as shit
2016,
right
but
now,
the
bro. I look like I'm
smallest margin
sweating.
for a
Y'all ain't even
Republican
say nothing,
in
bro. Y'all just
decades.
gonna let me
What are
shine
you
up like
watching
this.
here?
Right now,
That niggas
61%
is
of the
dickheads
expected
for
vote
that.
in, a very narrow lead for
That's
Joe
some real
Biden.
Yeah,
haters,
it's
bro.
See
that.
what
I
happens.
don't know. That
Here's what I
sounds
want to talk
crazy.
about a couple of
She
things. First,
retarded.
when we get these
She
results,
retarded.
different states process the ballots before they can count them. Texas is one of them. They were able to process that huge volume of early votes. They could
Biden is up
basically
1% in
stack up
Texas
the
right now.
absentee ballots, and then as soon as the polls closed, they could start putting those in the machine. So here's why we're getting some of these early results, especially from these urban centers. Houston,
Oh my goodness.
that is where the Biden campaign right
What
there
events though? You
needs
ain't
to
telling me
get
about
big
none.
votes tonight. Now, as we look at Texas, I want to go through
Yo,
some
look
more
at her grill
results as
piece.
we're getting them. Let's look at Pennsylvania.
She got that
We've been
giraffe
talking
neck,
about that.
boy.
Here
Her
in
neck
Pennsylvania,
piece.
we're starting to
Look
That
see
is
a
a
little bit more
crazy
come in.
neck though.
Not
That is a
as much.
crazy
But
neck,
look up
son.
here at the top, up here, so this is Scranton, Joe Biden's hometown.
Yo, how much
Wait,
electoral
hold
college
on.
votes
Joe
does
Biden from
Pennsylvania got?
Scranton?
The night. Let's look
See?
at Luzerne
He's
County
so
and
undrippy.
Lackawanna County.
That's not
Those
even
are two
dope.
counties up at the top. We know a few
Jalen
things
said
about
Oh shit,
electoral
Pennsylvania.
Biden's
college
up
is
119 right
Big
now?
swing
yeah,
for
OD.
Donald Trump, a huge pickup
Jalen
there,
said
but it's
electoral
neighboring
college
county
is the
Lackawanna
real
that, like, gets
Illuminati.
included
That's a
that
fact, bro.
narrow
Nobody
Yeah,
even
I
knows
just
who
said
the fuck
that.
the
Why would you
electoral
say
college
that?
is, bro.
And we can
Yo,
also see about these counties that it's white
Wilkes-Barre,
Democrats.
Pennsylvania is
If
a
we
drug
heard some of
town.
the panelists,
That
David,
is
Amy,
a
talk about
fucking
early tonight. So this is an
crackhead town.
important place
So
for
let's go
both
sell some crack. What's
campaigns.
wrong with you?
And I want to say this is important as to when we get the results
I'm
because
trying. How much electoral
Carolina
college votes
is
does
a place
Pennsylvania
where they
have?
were able to
I don't know.
process the ballot starting
If
at
y'all
7
want me to turn
a.m.
up the
and we were not able to start counting until the polls closed.
video,
And
let me
what do we
know.
have? Photos from Luzerne County. Here they are. That we were able to get tonight of those workers. These are the folks doing the hard work of our democracy today, counting the ballots all day long, trying to get through tens of thousands.
Yeah, that's the only
Nah, they
thing. Like,
counting them
that's why
by
it's gonna be
hand, bro.
questionable about doing the
This is
still a
census.
chipping
prehistoric.
machine that they hope will help them through the night.
And we
But
hope it
also,
will as
everybody
well. And
doesn't
I'm
have
glad
to
you
do the
mentioned
census. It's
process
only supposed to be
because
like
we don't
one
expect
person
results
in the
from
household
Pennsylvania
taking everybody's
for
shit.
a little bit
That's a fact.
longer, particularly because of those reasons that you were mentioning. If we bring back up that state map,
Yeah, a lot of people.
counties
A lot of people not
Pennsylvania
doing
for a
it.
second.
Yeah, a lot of people not
Sorry,
doing
we'll
it.
take a look at Ohio first. Lisa, why don't you walk
Because
us back through
the
this?
census,
Yeah.
the census,
Is an important
there's
state.
no
Joe
way
Biden's
that we
right
still
now
got
to the point
29
of
electoral
62%
college
in.
votes
But look, there's so
Yeah.
much.
with
There's so
all
many
of the
more votes
people that
to
have
come in.
moved
But right now,
here due to
notable, we gotta watch
gentrification.
Ohio. It is a battleground.
Battleground for sure, as well as Pennsylvania. If we just take a look at the counties here, just to hit
And how much
why we
electoral
do not
college
know
votes
some of
does
these
Texas
results
have?
just yet. Remember, every county official has announced different rules and different schedules for how they're
I
processing
don't
some of
know.
these. All the way up
I
here
don't know
in
shit
Erie
about the
County,
electoral
they said
college.
they're
Let's
starting
fucking
with the
Google
same
it.
day results. They
I
will
mean,
switch to the absentee ballots until 11
co-
o'clock. They'll go till 2 a.m. and then they'll take a break and come back tomorrow
How many?
morning.
You
Down
said
here
who?
in Cumberland County,
Te-
officials have said
Texas.
they're not even going to begin to count the absentee ballots until tomorrow morning.
I'm
That
gonna
is
find out
why
right
this
now,
But
bro.
my
process is taking
thing
a
with
little
it
bit
is
longer.
like,
Exactly.
Stay to watch. Judy, back to
Texas
you.
is the
Oh, it's so
biggest
good to have
state.
that county by county
Texas is not bigger than
information because
California.
that's what gives us a window into what's going on.
It doesn't say.
So thank you both. We do have a call to make, and this time I think it's the first House race we've called all night, but
38.
it's one
I feel
that
like we should have
has
about the
certainly
same
gotten a
amount of
lot
electoral
attention
college
this year.
votes as
She is
Texas.
Marjorie Taylor Greene. We are. The AP is saying that she will win her House
And
district.
they have
It remains a
38. I feel like
Republican
we should have
district.
Yeah, they got
around,
38. Yeah,
Controversial
you
because
should have
she has
around
been a
35
supporter
or something.
of QAnon, the conspiracy group, which
QAnon? They
has
getting burned on
I don't
TV?
see Texas having a bigger
criticism
population
that
than
she's,
us.
continues
Nah,
to
me neither.
say
But
is
have you
something that
have you done?
Legion,
Have
some
any of y'all?
other,
Matter of fact, I'm gonna ask that question. Have
people
any of y'all
running
heard
for
of the
US House this
QAnons?
year who have
Have you heard of them?
espoused
Yeah,
their,
have you heard of them?
Nah.
at least
They're like,
support
all
or
right, so
support or at
QAnon.
least
So you know
belief
those
in some of what
you know the like
QAnon
the revolution
argues.
going on
Amy
in
Walter,
France and shit with the yellow jackets.
Democrats have pointed out
Like a
that
lot of
this is
that was
something
spurred up
that
by
the
QAnons,
American
and those
people just
niggas
need
is
to be
fighting like
watching
for
very
liberation
carefully.
of their people
Well, you
and
know, it's really
poverty and shit
interesting,
like that.
Judy,
But it's
when we
based
think about
off
how much
like
change has
an
gone
anonymous,
through our politics, just
let's
in the
say
last
Reddit
10
user
years, especially in
called
the House, when it's
QAnon.
flipped Democrat
Like
to
he
Republican,
they
the
think he's
number of
like this
seats Biden
messiah that
lost.
predicts shit
You have very few
and
people in
shit.
Congress now
So
that have
like
worked
you
either
know,
with the other party
QAnon is like
in
this
the
group
White
that
House
the white folks is
or
really
have been
afraid
in
of,
the
my G.
majority, right? And so for so many of the Republicans who will be in Congress in the next
You would now sound like he
Congress,
fucking Europe up.
they will only have known
Oh
one
yeah.
Republican
Oh yeah. And
president,
they
and
out here
that's Donald
too.
Trump. They
But
will not
they
have
just
worked with
haven't
George
caught
W.
as
Bush.
much
Maybe they were
win,
there
but
for
they
Obama, but
definitely
that
have
is
a
the
big following out
entirety
here, son.
of their
Like low key, I'm
experience.
waiting for
And so
Anonymous to
that
do
is
some really
going to
fly
shape,
shit.
I think, a lot
Son.
of the ways
Like
in
hack
which
Sally
these
Mae
members are going to
or
get
hack
into a new Congress,
unemployment.
how they
Or something.
expect to behave, and
Like or just
what
hack
they're
somebody that
expecting
could do something for the people.
Congress to actually look like.
And when President Trump
Or
has
kill
been asked
somebody.
about
Do something
QAnon,
useful. Oh wait,
he
I mean
has
we can't say
very
that.
mixed
You know what I mean?
answers.
I don't want him to cut our
At
stream or nothing.
various points, he's
But
All
you
right, don't
know,
kill nobody.
as
Don't
if
kill nobody.
he was not embracing them, but at other times he's suggested there's nothing wrong with it.
Or like, but just commit an act of
We'll be
violence,
watching.
something,
facts.
That's right.
something
Facts.
brazen.
She takes
Facts.
this seat.
Yeah.
All right, so they saying the
So
polls
it
are now
is,
closed
right
at 9
now, I'm
p.m. for a
looking at the
couple of these
clock. It's
spots. That's why I wanted to do it at 9
9:22 in the
because that's
east.
when
It's
most of the
20
polls
most of the
will be
states in the
closed, and
country,
then we only
polls
got
are
like a
closed,
little
but we are
uphill
still
ride from
waiting
here,
for
bro.
a number of hotly contested
119, 92 that's the kind of lead that you win with, though.
in
It
many
is.
states around the country, Senate races, and certainly
It
House
is.
races. We expect
But
those to
it's
come
just
in
like
later tonight.
I just want to
but we
see
were glad to be able
if
to
the nigga
report
kept the
one
dub. I want
from
to
the state of
see some
Georgia
action
just now.
immediately,
That's a
though.
fact.
So I'm looking
Like
to
I
see
want to
if we able to make
a
any more
stimulus
calls
package
right
by
now
Friday.
in the
Like at
so
least.
we are going to move ahead with what we had planned.
At
That
least
would
by Friday.
that would give me
More than a
belief. Like,
year,
oh,
this
niggas is
heated
really
campaign
doing shit.
tonight
All right,
is an
bet.
important
Yeah,
night
facts.
for both campaigns. Our next guests have been there before. Katie Walsh is a senior advisor to the
Shout out to Katie Walsh.
committee. She's also a former deputy
Word.
chief of staff in the Trump White
She got the
House.
OD white
Joining
woman
her,
cut.
Joel Benenson. He's a Democratic
Trinique is
strategist. He
popping
led
out. That's the
polling
homie.
operation for the Obama-Biden campaign in 2008 and 2012. Katie Walsh, I'm going to come to
Kentucky
you first.
really
We're hearing a good bit
voted
tonight
Mitch McConnell
about
as their
President
senator.
Trump doing
That's what's
better
up.
than expected
Mitch
in South
McConnell is
Florida.
3
but
days
we still
away
don't
from
have really any
Heaven's
definitive
Gate.
answers
Facts.
in Pennsylvania.
Oops.
or Hell's Door,
Yeah.
whichever
If
one you
President
think he
Trump
deserves to
is
be at.
able to do better
All
than
I know is
expected
this, bro.
in these states that were thought
If
to
we
be
going
on
looting,
the edge, what do
we
you
need to
think
make a
it's
list
due to?
now,
Certainly
bro.
not for lack of trying on the part
I
of
already
the
know where I'm
Democratic
going,
Party.
bro.
I'm
I
not
think it's
gonna
due to
hold
lack
you.
of
I'm going to
enthusiasm
Radio Shack.
by the Biden campaign. I don't think the
I'm
Democrat
going
base
to
was
Best
ever excited
Buy.
about Joe Biden. They never really seemed
I'm
to get
going to the
behind him in a
Cartier
real kind
store,
of groundswell way.
and
You've seen
I'm going
Republican
to Flight
voters get
Club.
behind Donald Trump. And
I'm
so at the end of
also
the
going to
day,
the Chopped Cheese.
you know,
I'm
I've
thinking of
always
all the
thought
practical
you're
shit. Like
always better
I'm
when
running
you're
in the Chopped
asking
Cheese spot
voters to go
making
to the
mad
polls and vote
sandwiches.
for something, not against someone. And so I think
This
what we'll
is the
see here, if
selfishness
the
that
president's able to win Florida, which I think he will, and I think he'll win it by a larger margin than he
Trinique, nah, you already know. You already know, Trinique. You gotta get the survival gears together, B.
Well, you know what you're getting already.
did in 2016.
Oh, and I'm going
I
to
think one of the
wherever
things
they
that
sell guns at in New
will
York,
ultimately be talked
which is
about was
probably,
that we
I
were
don't
able to
know.
mobilize
Upstate?
voters that really felt passionately about Donald Trump.
I'll get
At the
me
end of the
driving
day,
upstate
Democrat
to
voters
steal
are just as
guns.
passionate
That's a
about
fact,
Joe Biden.
though.
Joel Benenson, what
I'm gonna keep
about
the
that?
chat
And
out
after
here.
Biden win, we're
We
gonna need
know
them.
that
Niggas
the
gonna be
Biden
trying to shoot
campaign has
niggas
been
for
built
sure.
largely around
You ain't
opposition
lying.
to President Trump. Their
Niggas is
argument
gonna be
being
trying to
there's so
shoot
much to
niggas.
criticize there, in
That's a
particular the
fact.
pandemic, and as
What this
well as
ugly
other
nigga talk about? Let's listen to what
factors.
this ugly nigga said. To see if he's
How do
saying
you
some
weigh that?
important shit.
Could he have said more
He looked like he put his
about
kids on
himself
timeout.
to get voters more
Huh?
excited?
He looked like he put his kids on
Well,
timeout.
look, first of
OD.
all, the night's not over yet. And
No
when I look at the
spankings.
electoral
No
college
spankings.
numbers right
Nobody
now,
gets
Joe
spankings,
Biden's got
bro.
a slight lead. And I think there are
It's
states
bad
coming that are going
parenting.
to be potentially very close
The
or
hood healer. I've
chances for him
heard
to
of the
win
hood
states
healer.
that Democrats haven't won a lot. States like Georgia, North Carolina. I think he's going to do well in Pennsylvania. Look, Trump winning Florida is the state he needed to win. If you took that off his map, he had almost no path. But let's look at the facts here. Donald Trump has been president of the United States now, and having run a re-election campaign, helped run it for President Obama, I can tell you that when you're running for president, it's a referendum on you. You've been there for 4 years. You've been the leader of this country.
Missouri
and for Donald
packed him
Trump,
up.
he's been presiding over it during 2 crises.
Missouri said Trump,
And
get
he's
the
gotten
fuck out of
terrible
here.
ratings on both of those. So
Missouri
you
not
can talk
having
about positive
none of Trump's
enthusiasm all you
bullshit.
want, but when you're the
New
incumbent,
Hampshire? I
you've got
forget
to
that's a
make sure
place.
that you've given voters enough
Yeah.
confidence in you that you deserve
Who
another
I
goes
term.
really
there?
forget that's a
You
place.
know,
Who
when
goes to
President
New Hampshire,
Obama
bro?
won in his reelection in
You go to New
2016,
Hampshire?
I think this is a little known fact. He's only the 7th U.S.
Who
president
the
in
fuck is
history
Shaheen?
to be elected and
Oh, Senate.
reelected
I'm
with
like,
more than
who the
She
50%
fuck
from
is
the
that?
of the
projects
vote.
though.
That's right.
That's an
Donald
OD
the
Trump
project
projects.
name.
obviously didn't
She a
win with
5%er
50%
too.
last time. He hasn't built the kind of coalition as a leader. And on the issues that have been most salient, particularly the coronavirus, he's been judged wanting. And I think people are enthusiastic about voting against them. And I think that's just as legitimate as ginning up your base to vote for you.
Katie Walsh, what about that? And the fact, I mean, we hear President
Oh shit,
Trump talking
Alabama
about
wasn't playing. They fuck with something.
what he will do, the Make America
Alabama.
Great Again. I mean, that was his
He
slogan
fucking
in
they cousins.
2016. He's been in office for 4 years. Is he taking enough responsibility for what's happened on his watch?
Alabama really packed this nigga the
Well,
fuck up.
I think he's very proud of his
Alabama
record.
is
I think he
packing up
feels
the
very
Republicans.
proud of the
the
economic
Democrats.
record in this country. I
they
think
not-
he
they
feels
don't
very
like
proud about
nobody.
being able to get people back to work,
Get
having
them
a
niggas the
record
fuck
growth
outta
of
here.
GDP in the third quarter this year after what could only be called as, you know, the greatest kind of shut down our economy
I'll
we've
get
seen
some
since the
ice.
Great Depression. And so I think he's very proud of that record. I will say to Joel's point about not putting a big enough coalition together, one of the things that I think constantly goes unreported is the amount of voters that the president engages that weren't engaged in 16 or in 20. And so when you look at these rallies, one of the things the RNC tracks is if they're coming to the rally, we're able to get their name, their phone number, their email address, and track what their voting record is. And in a lot of these instances, almost a third of these rally attendees will tell you, I did not participate in 2016, but I am going to vote in 2020. Or a third of them are also saying, I'm a Democrat, I voted for Hillary in 2016, but I'm just not there on Joe Biden. And I think the president's done helpful things for my pocketbook, which is ultimately what a lot of voters end up voting on. And so when Joel says he has put a coalition together, there's some new voters that the president brings in that I don't think.
Well, you know, look, I think if you want to look at Donald Trump's base, he won suburban voters by 4 points last time against Hillary Clinton. He's got a double-digit deficit in most of the polling going into tonight. Those are the numbers I'm going to be watching as we look at states like Ohio. And Pennsylvania.
I'm good, how are you?
Those suburban voters are going to determine the outcome. And he's got half the electorate made up. Carried them last time, and you've had a big deficit going in. He may be bringing some new people to the polls, but he sure turned off a whole lot of people who voted for him last time.
Well, certainly a deeply divided electorate, at least based on what people were saying going to the polls. All right, thank you both. We are going to come back to you as the night wears on. Joel Benenson, Katie Walsh, we thank you so much. We do have a race to call. The District of Columbia, the federal district. This is a place, no surprise, a place that is full of Democrats. Joe Biden has been declared the winner by the Associated Press. This is with 41% of the expected vote in Joe Biden, winning it overwhelmingly. No electoral votes because I'm sorry, 3 electoral votes, but the District of Columbia doesn't. Which stings a number of people who live in the district, and they keep bringing it up and keep talking about whether the district should become a state. Tonight, we are continuing to put a lot of focus on the Keystone State, Pennsylvania. It remains critical on the road to the White House. Our man, Dan Bush, is there right now in Philadelphia. Dan, what are you hearing? Tell us.
Well, Judy, results are just beginning to come in here in Pennsylvania. In the city of Philadelphia, this is a closely watched area because about a third of the vote is expected in the entire state to come from Philadelphia and the suburban counties around there. Still very few votes coming in. They are all mail-in and absentee ballots, Judy. I'm being told by officials the next big wave of results that they are going to post here in Philadelphia will not come until midnight. After that, the next wave won't come until tomorrow morning. And that's because, as Lisa said just a little while ago, under law, the state was not allowed to begin counting these votes until 7 a.m. this morning. Here in Philadelphia, they can do about 30,000. They can scan and count about 30,000 ballots an hour. In smaller counties I've been to in the last couple of days, that number is even smaller. So it takes a long time, Judy, to process these votes. But as we're waiting for that to happen, there are already some signs of turnout that both sides are watching. Here in Philadelphia, I was just told by a senior Democratic official that turnout is definitely better for Joe Biden than it was for Hillary Clinton last time around. They are even looking at potentially turnout among black voters, rivaling 2012, President Obama's re-election campaign. They see that as a very good sign for Joe Biden. On the President Trump's side, I've been talking to campaign officials. They were cautiously optimistic earlier in the day, Judy, about their internal numbers here in Pennsylvania, that the president could do better than he was polling coming into today. But we're going to have to wait to see where those results end up in the strongholds for President Trump, that is in rural communities, in the western part of the state, and in suburban areas. And finally, Judy, I did speak with some suburban voters earlier in the day who voted for President Trump. They said they liked the direction of the economy under President Trump. They liked his handling of the pandemic, these voters said, and they had no equivocations about
How can you
voting
like
for
Trump's
President Trump a
handling of the
second time.
pandemic? That's
These are
funny.
the Philadelphia suburbs, you're saying.
That's right, Judy. Areas that Joe Biden needs to sort of eat away at the margins if he is to try and win Pennsylvania, and where President Trump needs a big turnout once again.
And just quickly, Dan, to clarify, you were saying earlier in the day the Trump folks were telling you that they were cautiously optimistic. Are they saying the same thing now, or what?
Well, they're waiting to see, Judy, because they know that if this turnout in Philadelphia is big, especially among black voters, that spells trouble for them. So they're waiting to see these numbers a little later tonight and exactly what they look like here in Philadelphia. But they were optimistic earlier in the day. They did think that President Trump could do a little better in the polls. He came in today about 2 or 3 points behind Biden.
Well, we know that former Vice President Biden was there in Philadelphia today. We also know former President Barack Obama has been campaigning for him there. They've been doing everything. They've been doing a lot, let's put it that way, in order to turn out the vote in the city of Philadelphia. So our Yamiche, Dan, thank you very much, and we will come back to you. Meantime, Yamiche Alcindor outside the White House where the president and his team are watching what's going on. Yamiche, are you picking up any new sense of what how they're feeling, what they're thinking?
I am, Judy. The president feels like he really left everything on the field. He is sitting, watching these results come in with a raspy voice.
I know it was
In 4
nasty
days,
like that at
the president held some 17 rallies in 8 different states. He really feels like those rallies were not just big gatherings of people, but that he was collecting all of those people's data.
West Virginia definitely cousin fuckers.
So that was really, they say, about turnout.
Cousin fucking
the
down
president
here.
is feeling very good. It is true.
West Virginia is where the
optimistic, as Dan was saying.
You know that saying about the Hatfields and the McCoys?
30 minutes that they think
West Virginia, well, those are real people, and they're from West Virginia.
Different though when it comes to states
and
like
their families
and Texas,
war,
still feel very,
but
very
yet
that they will win those states.
they are
But
intermarried.
surprisingly, I'm
Both of
hearing
their
that they are
families, there's
really
mad people in
worried
their
right now
families
about
that's
Michigan.
married,
Even though they said that they were
be
doing very
warring
well
and killing
in
each
upper
other off.
Michigan, upper Northwest, they are now
To this
very
day.
worried about that state. So
To
the
this
Trump
day,
campaign
the Hatfields and the
people around
McCoys are
president say
still
that while
at
the president
war,
is so optimistic,
and
he
yet their
understands that
family.
it's anyone's race at this point in the night. Another thing to note,
Crazy
as we're
about
waiting
white
at the
people,
White
man.
House
When
for
you
this
go look
big
up white
election party
history,
that
you be
some
crazy
say is
shit going
dangerous.
on in that shit.
Outside the White House, the protests, the Black Lives Matter protests,
That is their
the protests
history
for
though.
racial
Like the
justice are going
Hatfields and the
unfolded. We have
McCoys is dead
images of that.
white
What we're
American
seeing from those
history,
people, and I've been talking to some
and
protesters
people probably
today,
think that
they
that
say
shit
they
is
are
just
there
like
to tell
weird
President Trump that
sayings.
the way that he's been handling the pandemic, especially as it disproportionately impacts Black people and people of color, that it is wrong.
I remember
They
when I
also think
first
the
looked that
president
shit
is
up. I
wrong
was
with
like,
his
oh, these
tone on law
fuckers
and
is
order.
crazy.
They say they want to see African Americans be treated fairly.
I went to West Virginia. That's definitely true.
So those protesters are saying they were happy that President Trump is now up for re-election. They're hoping that he is ousted. But of course, while you see a number of people outside the White House rallying against the president, inside the White House there are people that are hoping for just the opposite.
Yamiche Alcindor doing double duty tonight. She's not only covering the Trump campaign at the White House, she's also in touch with some of the organizers of the Black Lives Matter movement. And we were just showing you showing video, Yamiche, as you were talking of looked like several hundred protesters gathered there in downtown Washington. All right, Yamiche, we're going to let you go right now, but come back to you, of course, shortly. But our John Yang is in Wilmington, Delaware, where the Biden campaign is gathering and watching results. So, John, tell us what intelligence you're picking up.
Well, the president's concerns about Michigan are Biden's hopes. This poll closings at this hour, we're getting into states where the Biden campaign thinks there are states that they can turn from Trump in 2016 to the Democratic side this year, particularly Wisconsin and Michigan, as Yamiche mentioned. They're also watching the vote counting in North Carolina. North Carolina says that they have now reported all the early votes, and and mail-in ballots, which they were able to process before today. And Biden has a lead. So now the Biden campaign is watching to see today votes be counted, to see if the president is able to make up the difference and to pull closer in that state. But they have high hopes for North Carolina. They're also watching Arizona, where some of the state is closed, but other parts of the state won't close until 10 o'clock Eastern time. So these are all states that they think they have a good shot at. They are very optimistic. They say that they're where they want to be in the counting as it goes on, and that they are hopeful that things are going to go their way tonight.
I'm hoping we can show our audience what
I got a scarf
the
on.
count
It's not that cold
is
outside.
at this point in North Carolina, as you say, if they are finished with the early vote count. John, just quickly, what about Wisconsin? Did you mention that? We heard Yamiche say the
Yo, you know
the
some
Trump
mad
folks
offensive
worried
shit
about
that I be
Michigan,
asking like
one of the
Asian
states the
people
president
when their
won,
names be like,
along with
their
Pennsylvania and
name's
Wisconsin
John
took away
Yang.
from Hillary
I'll
Clinton
be
in
like, yo,
2016.
what's your
Anything about
Chinese name?
Wisconsin from the Biden people?
They're hopeful. They think that the Biden people think they had
That
a
aspect. I'll be
strong
like, what's your
ground game
African
in
name?
getting early votes,
Don't
getting
tell me your
mail-in
name is
ballots
Jimmy.
collected and
They don't name
returned.
them
They
niggas
think
Jimmy
that
and that. Nah,
they
nigga.
went into today with a substantial lead, and that the president would have had to really outperform with in-person balloting, in-person people who went to the polls
Wyoming,
today to
they say
vote. I just
0%.
saw on the wires that Governor Evers in Wisconsin said that he's hopeful that the state can report
Yeah, Biden moving up.
nearly
Biden
complete
been
or as
moving.
complete
Trump
as
is stuck on
possible
92.
returns by tomorrow. Milwaukee is still counting. Will be accelerating or starting their counting, and they're hopeful that they'll have some numbers tonight and tomorrow.
All right, John Yang, really helpful to have that information, as well as what Yamiche was able to share with us, and Dan Bush putting it all together gives us some sense of where these campaigns are. I'm told that we can make a call now in the state of Colorado, where the polls closed about 38 minutes ago, to be exact. Colorado, a state that Hillary Clinton won in 2016, AP says that is going to Joe Biden. This is a state that the two parties have fought over, but in the last couple of elections, Amy Walter,
ESPN shit?
Colorado is looking blue.
Yeah, it's become much more of a blue,
Oh,
stalwart than it used to be. It was much more purple back in the earlier part of the 2000s. Certainly, it was the Obama campaign that really put that state in play, and
I
Democrats
know
have been
that
able to
toothpaste is
build
doing
on
damage like that soap.
And we are looking at the Senate race in the state of Colorado
right.
as well. No numbers there. That is the first-term incumbent, Cory Gardner, who's being challenged by popular former governor John Hickenlooper.
I'll be
who
using
also
some
was the
next
mayor of
organic
Denver,
toothpaste.
now running for the Senate.
I use fluoride. I don't use fluoride any type anything.
Turn to Washington Post columnist Jonathan Capehart, and also the editor of the Washington Free Beacon, Eliana Johnson. So I think the two of you have been able to hear what our reporters are saying about these early threads of information, bits and pieces of information that are coming in from these states that we're watching so closely tonight: Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida, North Carolina, and so on. Jonathan, what are you taking away at this point from these early numbers, and frankly the fact that it looks like whatever the Biden campaign may have wanted in their wildest dreams, it looks like they're going to take a long time.
Well, and that's why they're wildest dreams. You hope they come true, but you won't be so
How many vice
surprised if
presidents
they
been
don't.
president?
But from the information that we heard from Yamiche and from John, it just only goes to confirm what we knew going into this, that all attention will be focused on Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Because those are the three states, those were the blue wall. President Trump was able to crash through those three states. If Vice President Biden can build that wall back and take those states back, then he's on his way to the White House. But the fact that we are sitting here talking at 9:40 p.m. and both the White House and the Biden campaign sees silver linings in the numbers just tells you and reminds us just how close this election is going to be.
I'm squaring what Jonathan is saying Eliana Johnson with what our reporters are saying about these states, and also thinking back earlier in the evening as we've been hearing the president doing better, at least according to these voter surveys, with voters who are white, don't have a college education. I'm sort of reluctant to divide people up by education or not, but we do that in covering politics. We try to understand what motivates people. But what does it tell you, perhaps, about the president's message that appeals to these voters who could make the difference in states like Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin?
Ohio, mad close.
2016 saw the beginning of the transformation of the Republican Party from a party of the wealthy elite personified by Mitt Romney, the 2008 nominee, into a more working class and largely white party. I think the effort among Republicans is to make it, and I think somebody said this earlier, is a multi-ethnic working class party, because relying simply on white votes is not enough to carry a candidate over the finish line. And by contrast, Democrats who, you know, going back to FDR, were once the party of the working class, I think are becoming more a party of the elites and the coast. So we're in the midst of this transformation. I think most surprising tonight is we're seeing surprising Latino support for Trump, which suggests, I think, that the president has harped on the issue of immigration, particularly illegal immigration, that issue may not be of as much importance to the Hispanic population as many had anticipated.
And Amy Walter, that's something we're trying to understand here, because as we've said several times tonight and throughout this campaign, it was assumed that immigration would work against the president's favor in the Latino community, but it may turn out that's not the case. Again, we don't have all the numbers in. We're looking at Miami-Dade County. That's one particular place, but there are the Latino community is spread throughout the United States.
And it is notable that the president has not spent a whole lot of time, especially in these closing weeks of the campaign, talking about immigration, talking about the wall. Remember, he closed the 2018 campaign talking about the caravan that was coming up from Central America. That was his focus back in that campaign. This year, he's closing out on Joe Biden, on socialism, on liberal Democrats, getting into power, and in some ways, it's something of a traditional Republican message, right? They're going to come in, they're going to raise your taxes, they're going to regulate things, they're going to take away private health care. That's the message that he, you know, closed on.
He called her Ellen.
That looks different from the message he closed on in 2016.
He do look like Ellen, though.
While I've got you and oh, I'm sorry, they are not here anymore, because I was going to thank them and I didn't thank them, but they know they are thanked.
I mean, one thing I think is also quite notable is that it's 9:45. We still don't have calls in Texas, in Georgia, in North Carolina. These are states, obviously, that we know they're still counting the votes and had huge turnout and huge early vote. But I think that's also quite notable on just how long of a night this could be, and how now those states, even the fact that they're in play, is quite something.
Right, and we were told in I know Texas had a huge early vote. It was what, 9-point-something million
Well, they had
Texans turned out before Election Day.
Right.
Way beyond. In fact, they had more turning out before Election Day.
Nah, what's the name of the lead now?
In 2016.
Yeah.
He
So
is.
we assumed
He
we were
lead
going to
over
see
there.
some of those numbers early. Again, the polls just closed in Texas 45 minutes ago.
Right. But that used to be a state that was really quick to be called for Republicans, for the Republican presidential candidate.
And
He in the lead by like 2%.
Election official being interviewed in the last day or so, saying we expect to get it early, but for whatever reason, early. We don't want to rush them. We want them to get
because
it right.
we know what it goes to show is how close the margins are. These are very, very, very close right now.
All right, we have some more House races to call in the House of Representatives. Oh, I'm sorry. This one is actually a Senate call in the state of Colorado. It's for John Hickenlooper. That is a loss for the Republicans. Cory Gardner, Amy and I were just discussing that. Cory Gardner, first-term senator there, challenged by, as we said, very popular former governor, former mayor of Denver, now will be going to the United States Senate. The AP looking at that result, they have 80, is it 68 or 88? Somebody has to tell me. I can't tell the difference of the expected vote in, 68%. And with that, they feel comfortable calling that is a pickup for the Democrats.
Ronnie Jackson fucking shit up because
this is the president's former doctor, Ronnie Jackson. He's running for the House in the state of Texas, and the AP is projecting that he will defeat Gus Trujillo, the Democrat, Republican. And one other House race, Madison Cawthorn. This is a young man. I believe he's in his early 30s. He was injured. We saw him during the 29 years old. I'm corrected. 25 years old. All right, I'm corrected again. 25-year-old Republican running in that open seat. I think this is Mark Meadows' seat, Amy's telling me. Madison Cawthorn, we saw him at the Republican convention. He does use a wheelchair. Big supporter of President Trump, and very enthusiastic in his support for the president. A lot of the vote is in here, 97%, and you can see a convincing win, 54 to 42 over Mo Davis, the Democrat. So also following the results with us tonight, national political reporters Aaron Haynes, editor-in-chief of The 19th, a new nonprofit digital outlet focused on women and politics. Aaron, I want to, okay, I'm looking at you going back and forth and where I'm talking to people. What are you seeing at this hour that is remarkable in terms of either the women's vote or women being elected to Congress or to whatever seats they were running for?
Well, you are seeing women be elected. Sarah McBride, the first transgender person that's going to Congress. I mean, that is something that is really remarkable, a story that we were certainly following at 19th News, and that I encourage everybody to go and check out our coverage of that victory. But we are seeing women begin to start to post wins in Congress tonight. You had out of Georgia, you have the non-incumbent GOP candidate who was had gotten some attention because of her subscription to QAnon theories, but now had disavowed her interest in QAnon kind of towards the home stretch of her race, having been elected tonight. Listen, I just heard out of Georgia, of course, the votes are still being counted there. That's my home state. I know places like Fulton County are still counting the votes there. You have voting rights advocates like Stacey Abrams saying, let's be patient and wait until all the votes are counted down there. So it probably is going to be a long night in places like Georgia, where typically, you are not going to have results coming in at this hour. It would be kind of later on in the evening, but certainly turnout pretty impressive in Georgia, including with early voting, but also on election day, and a lot of that driven by women, particularly women of color, and also an expansion of that electorate led largely by Stacey Abrams, who, as we know, narrowly came within becoming the first Black woman to be governor of that state.
She lost that race. Lost that race narrowly. So important to be reminded of Stacey Abrams' efforts to get out the Black vote, to boost the Democratic vote in the state of Georgia, which is what has given the Biden campaign hopes that they might have had a chance in the state.
Judy, it's interesting that you say that, because
Aaron, go ahead.
The losses in 2018, Beto O'Rourke, Andrew Gillum, and Stacey Abrams in particular, all three of them went on to lead massive GOTV efforts in the 2 years since those narrow losses. Stacey Abrams, certainly a lot of attention on that race related to, allegations of voter suppression in Georgia by her opponent, now Governor Brian Kemp, who was the Secretary of State when he was running against her. And so really trying to expand the electorate while also pushing back against voter suppression is something that you saw Stacey Abrams, Beto O'Rourke, and Andrew Gillum doing in Georgia, Texas, and Florida. And I may see some of the gains of that this cycle.
Aaron Haynes, thank you very much. And we continue to check in with public media reporters in some important states across the country. Amna is again talking with them. Amna.
Thank you, Judy. We turn now to Mary LaHammer, an anchor, reporter, and producer at Twin Cities PBS in Minnesota. Mary, good to see you. Let's talk about turnout. Early voting, the huge surges in turnout we've seen has been the story in so many states. What's been the landscape in terms of the turnout in Minnesota, and what does it mean?
Well, in Minnesota, we lead the nation in voter turnout. We have the last 2 election cycles, and we also hold the all-time national record for turnout. We hit 83% back in 1956. That was a very popular President General Eisenhower here. And we've had a lot of presidential visits this time around. We have typically been a blue state for generation upon generation, but President Trump kind of surprised himself by coming within a percentage point and a half last time around. And he's almost had a personal vendetta to come back to Minnesota. He's made more than 6 visits here. He wants to win this state. Biden's been here a couple of times. We do know we're going to have record early turnout. The question is whether our overall record will surpass 80% or even break that all-time record of 83%.
Turnout could help determine where that race goes. As we saw not in the graphic, just 30% of the expected vote in so far in Minnesota. We'll be tracking it to see which way it goes. Mary LaHammer, thanks so much to you for joining us. We want to turn now to the Lone Star State. Andrew Schneider is with Houston Public Media in Texas, and he joins us now. Andrew, I feel like the conversations about Texas going blue have been ringing around the atmosphere for years now. It is a toss-up. What's the landscape and the latest on the race right now?
The latest on the race right now is that the situation in Texas is very, very close. Donald Trump recently just took the lead by something in the neighborhood of 250,000 votes, but it's been going back and forth all night, and it's likely to continue to be very close for several hours yet.
And there's a key Senate race we're keeping an eye on in Texas as well. Andrew, tell us about that. Senator Cornyn, of course, is trying to hold on to his seat. What's the latest?
Right. Well, the latest is that Senator Cornyn looks like he is going to be getting a 4th term. This was a race that people have been watching very closely as a result of the race 2 years ago between Senator Ted Cruz and Beto O'Rourke. But most people seem to think that Senator Cornyn has just generally done a better job than Senator Cruz did, and he seems to be, if not coasting to another term, seems to have a healthy lead.
38 electoral votes at stake there in Texas. Andrew Schneider from Houston Public Media joining us tonight. Thank you to you. Let's turn now to Wisconsin. It was key to President Trump's win back in 2016. It's now one of the many states seeing a surge in COVID cases. Zach Schultz is with Wisconsin PBS, and he joins us now. Zach, good to see you. This is one of the states we should mention where they didn't begin processing any of the ballots until Election Day. What does that mean? Is it going to be a long night for you?
It's definitely going to be a long night here in Wisconsin. The reason is the city of Milwaukee has 169,000 absentee ballots to process, and they've already announced they shouldn't expect results until 5 a.m. tomorrow. They weren't able to start until 7 a.m. All of the ballots are being processed at one large central facility, and they've got more than 400 workers. They've been working in shifts all day long, but that's just a lot of ballots. That's nearly 5% of the vote in Wisconsin to get through.
Going to have to keep an eye on those counts coming in and check back in with you, Zach. But we mentioned the COVID surge that's been happening there in Wisconsin. Like much of the Midwest, it's now 3rd in the nation when it comes to per capita COVID cases. How is that impacting the election, if at all?
Well, surprisingly, today, it was a completely different scene from what we saw in April. In April, in the middle of the initial surge, people were scared to go out. There were fewer polls open. Today, more polls were open, but because of the large number of absentee voters, there weren't as many people there. But all the voters I saw today were wearing masks, and people didn't seem to be as worried. And I think preparation for how to handle this election meant that the COVID impact on Election Day wasn't there, but it was certainly an impact on the voters and how they're going to choose their vote.
Zach, very briefly, in less than a minute now, one of those key groups we watched in Wisconsin was white voters without a college degree. They helped to give that win to President Trump back in 2016. Is that still the core group to watch tonight?
Well, that's definitely where Republicans are hoping to see a boost in turnout. They still think there were more of those voters in Wisconsin that had not voted at all or hadn't voted since maybe the Bush era. And then the other core group is southeastern Wisconsin, those never Trumper Republicans that weren't quite sure if they were sold on Trump and whether
Yo,
they
why
were
is
going to turn
smoothie
out for
so
him or
good,
not.
son?
That is Zach Schultz
This
in the
shit
key state of
disrespectful, bro.
Wisconsin from Wisconsin
This
PBS
shit is so
joining us tonight.
disrespectfully
Zach,
good
thank
right
you
now,
to you.
bro.
And Judy, back to you.
Thank you, Amna. And we are hearing, I think I can say this on the air, is that right, that MJ Hager, the challenger in Texas, picking up on Amna's interview just now, it is reported that she is going to concede to John Cornyn. That race has not been called by the AP. Please stay with us. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with special coverage.
All right. So, Trump wins. What you think happens?
Nothing. More of the same.
Yeah.
I'm stressed. Did you see my post? I was saying I got caught in a Trump rally the other day when I
didn't see it.
I was like, let me get the fuck off this highway because there was so many people. Like, it was holding up traffic. That's how many people. They took up like one whole lane, and it was so scary. I was kind of scared. I'm not going to hold you. I was kind of scared. So I was like, oh, because I didn't want to like get like ran off the road or anything. These people are crazy.
That's a fact.
So, what's going to happen? Just be prepared for anything else.
That's a fact. Oh, my man Drew's here. Hold on, mute up right quick so we can welcome Drew. There we go. Yeah. My boy Drew, what's good, bro?
That's always good. Yo.
Why you look so angry, bro? You in the club right now?
I'm at this Mexican spot for Taco Tuesday.
no mask out there with the white women.
No, they don't when you're sitting at the bar joint, there's masks. Look, they got like the plexiglass shit right here.
Oh, that's fire.
So there's nobody next to me.
Oh, that's fire. That's fire, actually.
Yeah,
okay,
I had to ask the Latinos why they was fucking wilding. These niggas are bugging out, bro.
They are? They bugging out there?
Nigga, the joints are the Ricans up here for the most part vote Democrat, but the Mexicans and the Dominicans up here think they white.
That's crazy.
And the thing about it is, I told him either way, like voting Democrat won't help regardless. Mm-hmm. But when I tried to ask them why they voted for Trump, the one nigga was like, "Oh, because of immigration laws." But I'm like, "Yo, fam, both your parents are immigrants, though. So what the fuck you talking about, B? Like that don't make no damn sense."
Maybe he don't fuck with his parents, right? And I said maybe they don't fuck with their parents, right? And they trying to get them deported. You feel me?
Nigga, his parents were here when I asked him. So I'm like, yo, my nigga, like, so you saying fuck your parents, my nigga? Like, what type of weirdo shit he's and I keep telling niggas, like, when these Hispanic niggas get their first taste of some white pussy, these niggas go crazy, B. Like, they can't just fuck shit and leave it alone. Like, these niggas go balls to the wall crazy. Like,
OD.
Niggas go full Sammy Sosa. I'm not scared. I look too good to be scared. Hold on, though. Yo, I'm talking to my brother, though. Can you just relax? We having a gang meeting. Hold on.
You stupid. You stupid.
Yo, like this pandemic. I'm not trying to be mad close to you, B.
Niggas took gang meetings mobile.
Niggas, that's OD funny. Like that's ain't fucking like technology crazy. Like niggas is just chilling on stream, watching the motherfucking politics shit, and my man Drew just out. Pops in on the chat. We live for the world, and he just out chilling at the spot. Like this is the ghetto shit I love. Like
I'm mad, I'm mad social distancing here, but like I'm looking at people, because in Buffalo, because Western New York had like wild cases, right? Mm-hmm. So when you go to like a restaurant or whatever, you have to like wear a mask when you get in there, and then when you sit down and you're right at the bar, you can take it off, and no one can be near you. But like, the way that this joint is set up, there's like a plexiglass in front of all of us, and the one shorty is like, move down here. And I'm like, nah, like I'm really good though. Like I'm trying to figure out what like your plan is. Like I'm not even on like that COVID type vibe right now. Like yo, I just wanted to come have a drink.
I mean, look,
and start
Drew,
some chaos because I know niggas gonna be wilding at 12 o'clock, and you over here trying to do something other. Well, I'm bull like.
Yo, Drew, tell her, look,
Yo.
this how you do it. Take her back to the crib, cut a hole in her mask, and get the top through the mask.
Yo. Yo, the crazy thing is, I got a story for you, but I can't tell it on the live. But I got a story for you.
All right, copy.
What's up, guys? How you doing? Yo, tell your Rican brethren that they're fucking wilding right now. Yo, you know the Ricans is voting for Trump all in Florida. Yo, the Ricans and the Cubans in Florida need to get their ass whooped. What's up with these niggas, bro? Niggas going full Sammy Sosa. Like, what's up with them? Oh no, fuck Texas. Everybody in Texas is dumb anyway. Yo, the crazy thing is like Biden was smoking this nigga in Pennsylvania. I looked up. This nigga Trump made a fucking 3-1 comeback like Brown in Pennsylvania. I'm like, no.
You know what's crazy? I was like, yo, I ain't paying this shit no mind. And then I was like, yo, you know what? We all suffering. We might as well just kick it together, my nigga, and suffer together tonight. Like, roll up, get a drink. Like, it's lit. Fuck it.
Bro, I'm in full suffer mode right now. Like, you know I'm suffering when I got on a denim shirt with black jeans. Like, I'm really suffering.
My man got on a Canadian sweatsuit. It's bad out here, bro.
Yo, I'm looking like Justin Trudeau right now. Like, I'm fully suffering, bro. Like, I fully embrace the suffer right now. That's the crazy thing about it.
Yo, dead ass. No funny shit. I said the same shit. I said, yo, look, regardless who win, bro, we fucked. So, like, I just want to see who wins so everybody can shut up and we figure out what the fuck to do next.
Nigga, I'm going to tell you what we need to do next. Niggas just need to hit up Ghana real quick and say, yo, y'all boys still doing that free citizenship real quick. And I'm going to just, you know what I'm saying, make my way over to Ghana, see what it's sitting for. And I'm going to let boys know that we can, you know what I'm saying, we'll come back and figure it out.
Niggas gonna go over there saying stupid shit, though. Niggas gonna be over there like, yo, like, you know, I kill bisons. I'll kill a bison, my nigga. Like, nigga, we are civilized, bro. We civilized. Just get a job, bro. Just get a regular job.
Yo, if a nigga comes up to me and says, yo, I kill bisons, I'm going to say, okay, and I'm going to kill you, my nigga. Like, what are you talking about right now? Like, yo, like, what are you really talking about right now? Like, it's not percolating like that right now, bro. Like, I'm not even really on that, like.
Nigga hit the Kevin Hart voice. I don't even know. I don't even know what this is.
What I was telling people, though, is the thing about it is if Trump wins, what's gonna fuck him up is so many rich people are not fucking with him anymore.
Yeah.
And that was like his big ass thing was like all the rich people are fucking with him. So when Biden said that shit about the taxes, like, and this shit came out, that fucked him up. But once Biden told people like, yeah, I want to do something with oil, but he talked about clean energy. Like, a lot of people don't know, like, clean energy is a big-ass moneymaker because if you invest in it, the way that it's going to make money the next 15, 20 years, like, a lot of niggas are going to get rich.
Right.
And so when Trump basically said, like, fuck clean energy, and he just focused on oil and gas, like, he basically isolated, like, a big-ass group of people that look at clean energy as the next big bubble. That's going to fuck his ass up. A lot of niggas are going to try and get him out the paint because he said that. I keep telling people, like, yo, that energy shit's no joke at all.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Trump put 5 points on the board. He put 5. It's 131 to 98 right now. Biden, Trump. But you're right, though. Like, I think Trump.
Biden got 131?
Yeah, Biden got 131 right now.
Oh, this nigga's going for a triple-double. What the fuck?
He's smoking Trump right now. He's smoking Trump right now.
Yo, how is it in New York City? Because I wanna come visit, but I'm not trying to come there if niggas are still dying in the street in freezers and shit.
Oh, nah. Niggas, I think niggas out here is immune now. Niggas just outside chilling. Like, it's lit.
Nah. We got 2 weeks. We got 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
What happened?
Okay.
Oh, the Halloween
Nah, 'cause-
parties was this weekend, so we got
Oh
2
yeah,
weeks.
yeah. Facts. You right. You right.
It's
Yo,
getting
'cause
cold.
what-
It's getting cold. Niggas gonna be getting sick.
I had to make sure because once I went on Instagram and once I seen the nigga K Shine throwing GKB up outside like it was no pandemic,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's lit.
Yeah,
I said,
facts.
niggas just throwing their sets up outside again? Like, it's really lit right now.
Yeah, facts.
But then I had to remember
No.
that K Shine has had retards, so I had to remember that I can't really base it off him. So
Feel me? And he in Harlem. You know Harlem niggas don't care about no diseases. Yo, if y'all not smoking right now, y'all need this. I'm passing this to y'all. There you go. Take a pull. You feel me?
Yo, I knew Harlem niggas didn't care about nothing when Loaded Lux battled Mook for the second time, and that nigga had on a Gucci polo with some Reebok sweatpants and some Gucci sneakers, like everything was kosher with a fucking Cuban chain on. And I was like, oh, okay, I peeped the vibes right now. Harlem don't give a fuck about nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They don't.
Harlem was having block parties this summer, nigga. They don't give a fuck. Fuck you. They fly, nigga. They gonna die in the motherfucking Amiris.
Yo, the crazy thing about it is there was a nigga in Buffalo that was wearing a mirror, and I was just like, I knew him, I kind of knew him because we had a mutual friend group. So I was like, those joints are fire, and he was like, yeah, he's like, these are mirror, and I was like, oh, all right. And he like kind of looked at me, and he was like, yeah, these joints cost $1,000. I was like, all right, cool. Like,
He wanted you to
fuck am I
jangle
supposed
his
to do with
balls
that
or something. Yo, Jalen said they outside, but they not Atlanta outside though. That's facts. Atlanta's outside right now. Atlanta's outside right now. Outside.
Yo, Trey.
Oh shit! But Trump is cooking in Georgia.
Yeah, but you knew that though.
Mm-hmm.
I knew Trump was gonna cook that nigga in Georgia.
That's a fact.
The funniest thing in the world to me right now is I'm in a Mexican restaurant because it's Taco Tuesday, and the DJ is white. Like, I'm wild confused. And it's like, a bald white nigga, not even like a, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's facts. That's like, I hate when I go to like one of them motherfucking like sushi spots and it's a white dude that's the chef. And it's like, dude, can the Japanese nigga have something? Y'all taking they women and they culinary arts, nigga?
I hate that.
Yo,
Hash was good, nigga. Hash was shaking. Nah, my fault. I was saying,
it's like the DJ isn't even like a white nigga with like some sauce. Like, he don't even got like the JC Chazé or the Justin Timberlake hair from back in the day. Like, the nigga just bald. Like, the nigga in here looking like Lex Luthor. Like, I'm wild confused. Like, you couldn't even get a white nigga with some sauce. Like,
that nigga work at a tech startup during the day part-time, so this is other part-time job right now.
The funny thing is, what's fucked up is the nigga got on some cement threes with a Supreme hoodie. I want to fight niggas right now. Like,
oh yeah,
I'm upset.
Facts. Yo, my nigga Hash was good, bro. My nigga said he playing Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I feel that, my nigga. That's what you do as a stress reliever on the night like tonight, nigga. You kick it with the homies and play Grand Theft Auto and take out your frustration. That's a fact.
Ain't nothing a better stress reliever than playing San Andreas and beating a hooker's ass, bro. I be in that joint fucking some white hooker up.
Yo, that's OD, son. That's that shit. Yo, that was like the fucking thing. Like when you was a kid, when fucking 4 and 3 and Vice City was out, nigga. That's all you was doing.
All right, yo, Trey, I'm about to pay my bill, lead this spot. I'm gonna hop back on when I back to the crib.
All right, bet. Holla at me. We gonna be on.
All right.
My nigga Drew. Yo, pop in the conversation, man. I put the fucking the Discord in the chat. So if y'all want to jump in on the conversation, y'all gotta jump in on the Discord. We don't post those Zoom links live. I'm sorry. You gotta be part of the squad. All right, what they talking about now?
A third of the expected vote in. The president is ahead in Michigan, 56%. You can see 995,000 votes to 743,000 for Joe Biden. Democrats had been feeling very good about Michigan, so we will see. I don't know.
Yo, Hash, we were supposed to link. What happened, bro? I think we both forgot, maybe.
Please speak up, Amy.
I think that's what
Lisa,
happened,
if you've got
bro.
information on what's what's yet to come in Michigan, but it's still
I think
early.
it's important to point out in Michigan, it's one of those places they did not start processing the
Yo,
ballots
Joe Biden and
until
Trump even
today.
look alike.
So we will
Donald
see
Trump just look
shifts
like
over
Joe
the course
Biden's
of the
slow
evening.
brother.
You could see some of those in-person ballots counted first. We know those tend to lean Republican. As the absentee and mail-in ballots are added, those are likely
Bet,
to
my
shift
nigga.
back
I'm in
to
the town all
Democratic
week,
gains.
bro.
So
Holla
it's
at me.
going to be a kind of back and forth in some of these states.
Back and forth, and then there are other states where the early vote is counted first, and that's early vote has tended to favor Joe Biden. I think there's one other state we want to look at, and that's Wisconsin, the Badger State. Here, another state Democrats really want to win back. In fact, Joe Biden needs to win back, at least in one scenario, if he's going to take the White House. 38% of the expected vote. President Trump is ahead with 622,000 votes to 570,000. I think we are still waiting for ballots in Wisconsin as well. All right, we've got a call to make in the Senate. This is one we mentioned a few moments ago, that Mary Hager was ready to concede to John Cornyn, the Democratic challenger.
I bet over under. Biden wins. Biden wins. Trumpy's right. Trump wins. The Bidens go to sleep. That's my call, bro. I think if Trump loses, those white niggas is going to turn up, nigga.
Yeah, facts. I think they're gonna get lit.
I think them white niggas is going to turn up if Trump loses, bro. And I feel sorry because it's like, you know what I'm saying? White niggas been preparing for the violence for years, bro. Black
John
people
Cornyn,
been buying Jordans
who
and
is
shit.
running for...
He has been.
Niggas been in Tulum.
So he will return to Washington.
Niggas was in Tulum.
They getting ready right now.
That ass.
We're seeing that nigga down 131.98.
Them niggas is swinging in the air like Cuba Gooding Jr. pops, man.
Shit ain't even over yet.
It's not. They got a lot of time left. I'm telling you, they loading up. Them Proud Boys. Woo! But if they try some stupid shit somewhere like Georgia or something, they might get the boot. Well, not really. Georgia's mainly them crackers. But if they like try to come to like the nigga towns, them niggas got guns too. Everybody in Atlanta got guns.
Looking like the Republicans gonna control the Senate. Nah, so it's looking like the Republicans gonna control the Senate.
Them is up right now though.
Yeah, but they was smoking them at 1st. Niggas is making a comeback.
Yeah, they basically just zeroed each other out. So Republicans lost Colorado, Democrats.
I voted for Kanye.
We're really waiting on, for the ones that could be determinative, Collins in Maine, North Carolina, and of course the Georgia seats. Joni
She really do got the Ellen Chic drip. Like, that's her whole get up.
With the glasses.
With the glasses and everything, son. White woman dressed like that, you know she eat vagina, nigga.
That's a fact.
Shorty in the blue gonna get caught. Hey, yo. That's the LeBron edition mask right there. Braun one of them niggas out to get like vote tattooed over his heart and be like, yeah, you know, I'll take voting to the heart. I hate that nigga, son. I hate him so much.
This nigga really got on a vote mask.
Was
like,
up to the task.
Constitution
There were a lot of indications going in that things were not going to go
Why he in the
well.
warehouse?
They reassigned a
Oh, that's the
series
vote
of
where
these
all the voting
electronic
shit is.
poll
Yeah, essential.
pads over the weekend, causing significant delays getting equipment to people. A moving company that was supposed to transport the equipment to the precincts decided not to do it, pulled out of the whole situation. The whole system was kind of on the edge, and then this morning, very early, when we had some inside access to the Emergency Operations Center, something that the elections director here, Rick Barron, could not have predicted, a pipe burst in the room where they were scanning absentee ballots. This set back the scanning process by some 4 hours. They were able to dry out
Yo,
the
make sure
room.
y'all
No
give us a thumbs
ballots
up.
were
You know what I'm
spoiled. The
saying?
machines
Share the
were
stream.
okay, and they got back to work.
Tell
They
the
had a
homies, you
stack
know what I'm
of
saying?
more
We
than
live, kicking it.
80,000 ballots to go through, and so they're going through that right now. It's not a one-for-one delay, meaning there's going to be a 4-hour delay on this end, but we're still waiting for results here in Fulton County, as well as neighboring DeKalb County. So the urban centers around Atlanta have not come in yet, and we're still trying to get a full assessment as to how well this whole system performed. There were some counties where they had a complete outage because of these electronic poll pads not performing, software updates not doing their job. So in many cases, it's not on the ballot, but the system itself is being put to the test here. It appears that things have gone much more smoothly than they did 5 months ago, but we're still waiting for some final results here, Judy.
I'm tempted. There's the old expression, snake bit. And
Who you calling
some
a
of what you're
bitch?
describing just sounds like sheer bad luck. That's what it was. And you add to that the high turnout, vote turnout in Georgia, Miles. And
She look
you can
old
see,
as
as you
shit.
just said, what a test
That
it
nigga
is for
seen
those
all of them
election
fucking
officials.
party videos from in
in
Atlanta on
Fulton
his
County.
timeline. He wasn't playing with them niggas.
All right.
And, you know, interestingly, Judy, one quick point I'd like to add is that the turnout today was much less than they expected. And that has helped them as this technological system was not put to quite the same test. The election director here, his supposition is that people who were fired up came out and voted early, and that left fewer people for the actual day of voting, the more traditional voting, than he anticipated.
Very interesting. Fulton County, I think of it as a Democratic area. It certainly has its more conservative precincts, but really, really interesting to hear that. All right, Miles O'Brien, thank you, and we'll come back to you as the night wears on. Here to help again keep this night in context, we're going to go back to Amna and Lisa at the big map.
We're still here. Hi, Judy. Coming up on 10:20 now here on the East Coast. Polls have closed in most of the country. It's a good chance to check in and see what the possible paths forward for each candidate might be. Now that we look at the board, see 131 for Biden and 98 for Trump. But Lisa, some key states we're waiting on have yet to be called. So
I know.
walk us through.
My husband, my family, all my friends have been playing the guess your electoral map game, right?
Dangerous thing online.
And if you're the Biden campaign, there are 3 states that are really the most important, your easiest path. We're going to run through them all. I'm going to say them out loud. It's Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan. And we're going to check in all 3 of those right now. Pennsylvania, 20 electoral votes. These are the only counties that we really have results for. These were red counties in 2016. This is not anything new. But you see, with 31%, thank you, Vanna.
31% down here of the expected vote insofar. So still a very long way to go in Pennsylvania, in other words.
Exactly. And then
they're not
we'll
even
move on
halfway
to
through.
Wisconsin. Here we have 10 electoral votes. There we go up there. We've just got the top corner. It's interesting to me that that's red. That top corner of Wisconsin actually was blue in 2016, but we only have 39% of expected votes in there. And then the last one I want to look at and keep people updated with is Michigan, which Judy was talking about so much. There we've got just that county right there next to Lansing. I think that might be where we've got a university there. Anyway, one thing, the question is, what kind of votes are we waiting for from these 3 counties that are really critical? In some cases, we're not waiting per county as much as we're just waiting for this different stacks of vote. One thing that these states have in common is that if there is an early lead by someone, it is actually probably an early lead by Trump, because they are expected to count day of votes first in these 3 states, which is important to recognize. But these 3, if Biden can win these 3, he can win the presidency. These are the closest states in 2016.
And these were the ones we know were won by very, very close margins by President Trump. And those suburbs, the suburban areas you've been mentioning over and over again, those are going to be key to watch. But as you can see, we're filling in the color where we have results. Still a long way to go in these key Midwestern states. But Lisa, you've also been tracking the Senate races. You've heard, if you're sticking with us, a few of those called so far tonight. 35 seats.
I'm a Senate person. I know. I'm dying to find out what happens in the U.S. Senate, but we have a long way to go. This is just to update people right now. As Judy said, 43, 41, all those white dots are what we still have left to go. And we wanted to check in with one of those key races that Amy mentioned in North Carolina. Tom Tillis, the incumbent Republican, running against Cal Cunningham. Here we go right now. 90% of the votes in from North Carolina. Tillis has a narrow lead. Look at that. And again, you see those dots showing where the concentrations of votes are. Blue Democrats showing up in big cities, Raleigh, Durham, the Triangle, and Charlotte. But those red votes are really stacking up everywhere else in the state, and Tom Tillis is narrowly ahead.
Key Senate races to track, of course, as Democrats are fighting for control. Judy, back to you.
Looking at every one of those little circles and trying to understand what they all represent. Lisa Amna, thank you very much.
Facts,
and now
though.
we turn to
A lot of
man
this
who
shit is
is
too
close
complicated
to
for no
former Vice
reason.
President
Like,
Joe Biden.
this is why like
That's
niggas like
Senator
us gotta
Chris
watch
Coons
this shit and
of
talk about it.
Delaware,
Like,
and he joins me now
well,
from
nigga,
Wilmington.
it's not
First of
that
all, Senator,
difficult.
congratulations. You won your race.
Niggas
You are
vote,
coming
count the
back
votes,
to Washington.
choose the winner.
I know
Dead
that
ass.
makes you feel good.
Like, what the fuck?
Yes, it does. Thank you, Judy. Great to be on with you.
So I'm curious to know what Biden keeps telling you.
Yo,
We were
son.
told
I
that
don't
this
know why
night,
niggas go for the
could be a
reverse
long
mohawk
one,
like
that
this,
we
bro.
might not know tonight what the results are. Is that
What
your
is
sense
this
at
shit,
this point, that
bro?
we might not know
What
tonight
is this shit,
the
son?
results of the presidential race?
The reverse
That's
mohawk
right,
is
Judy.
hilarious.
Look, we've
That's
always
what it
known
is.
that elections are decided in our country by states and counties. We've had 100 million
That shit
people
is in the
vote early, whether
albino
in person or
mohawk,
by
my nigga.
mail, and a record turnout today. We need to make sure that every one of
That
those
shit is
votes gets
bad,
counted,
son.
and that may take several days. I'm
What do you tell the
optimistic.
barber? Yeah, just
I
keep
still
the
believe
sides.
strongly
Like,
that
yo.
Joe Biden will be our next president. And
No,
I
no,
think
no, I'm
that we're
keeping
going to have
those.
some good news over the course of the next few hours.
Dead
But
ass,
we most
though. It's
importantly
not
need to
even.
make sure that every single vote gets counted.
No
Shit,
question
his
about
barber
it.
is
What are you
trash.
seeing, though? Take us inside some of these numbers, Senator. I know you follow politics very closely.
Or you know his
Take us
barber be mad
inside what
annoyed
you
when
were
he walk
seeing
in and he know
turnout
he
in
gonna
some
tell
of
him
the
some
places
bullshit.
that Joe
Yeah, keep
Biden
this. Why haven't
needs
got
in
me
order to
fucking giving
turn
these
these
stupid
states in
ass
his
sides
favor?
like Caesar? This nigga just right here on the
Well,
side
Judy,
by his
I've been
ear the whole
texting and
time.
calling with my
Pissed.
colleagues in the Senate with some local elected
Yeah.
officials in critical states like Georgia, Florida, Ohio, Wisconsin, Michigan.
Mark, you
and
sure you don't
Arizona.
want to cut this
I'm
shit off?
optimistic
No, keep the
about
sides.
a
Keep the
number of those
sides.
states, but the core thing to remember is that Joe Biden's always had several pathways to the presidency. For President Trump, it's a fairly narrow path. He can't afford to lose any one of the key states that he won to eke out a narrow victory 4 years ago.
And so that's the reason we continue to look hard at Pennsylvania, at Wisconsin, at Michigan. Right now, the president seems to be doing well. At least he's running ahead at this hour in Georgia, doing well, a little bit ahead in Texas, in Florida. So I'm curious to know what you're seeing that gives you hope.
What gives me hope, frankly, is what I'm hearing from Arizona and from Ohio and from the other two states that you referenced, Michigan and Wisconsin. So I think in Pennsylvania, it's going to take several days for there to be a clear outcome. And I think there are paths that don't rely just on Pennsylvania. But part of why Joe Biden's been a compelling candidate since he got in was that he's someone who's never forgotten where he's from. He grew up in Pennsylvania and Delaware in blue-collar, working-class towns, and he's always fought for America and for the middle class. He's the right person to lead us out of the mess that Donald Trump's gotten us into. And I think that message is resonating today all over the country.
Senator, regardless of whether the winner is President Trump being reelected or Joe Biden winning, there's a strong feeling that the country is going to remain as divided as it is right now.
Oh, absolutely. That's not even a debate. If it's gonna remain divided. Why do people say stupid shit like this?
Because they white.
Is it not divided now? Like, what the fuck? I don't make no goddamn sense.
For
Rebecca.
the parties working together better than they've been able to?
Damn, Ohio was mad close, and
Well,
now he
Judy,
getting
as you
smoked.
know, the confirmation of now Justice
Oh
Barrett
shit!
was
Wasn't he
very
winning
divisive
Ohio?
in the Senate.
Biden.
Many of us in my party felt like the last few weeks should have been spent passing a bipartisan COVID relief package rather than racing to jam through a partisan nominee to the Supreme Court. That makes our coming together after these elections more challenging. I'm encouraged by the news we've heard in a number of states where there are Senate contests, in Colorado, which has already been called, in Arizona, where I think the news is encouraging. But frankly, I'm someone who's always worked hard, Judy, to build bipartisan coalitions. That's what I've heard from my state, from my constituents, that they want us to solve real people's problems. And I think a lot of why Joe Biden has had strong appeal is his ability to work across the aisle and to bring our country together, even in this bitterly and difficult and divided moment.
No, it is the case, Senator. You certainly are one of the senators we know who has frequently
Senator
worked
Chris
across the aisle.
Coons.
You mentioned the Amy Coney Barrett
The big coon. You
hearings,
already know the
which
vibes. I'll be right back.
couldn't have been more divisive between the two parties. The vote was strictly along party lines. Lindsey Graham, chair of the Judiciary Committee, we've just reported, has been called the winner in his re-election race in South Carolina. Were you surprised by that?
I was struck that Jamie Harrison, his opponent, was so competitive, so close, raised a great deal of money, ran a very strong campaign. So I'm a little surprised that Chairman Graham will be returning. But frankly, South Carolina is a deeply Republican state. That this was even close was a surprise to me. I think Jamie is a great candidate and ran a strong race. But, you know, at the end of the day, South Carolina is a state that was always going to go strongly for Donald Trump. And I think that may have helped pull Chairman Lindsey Graham of the Judiciary Committee over the line.
And very quickly, do you hear anything about the Georgia races that should give Democrats hope? Senate.
I haven't had a recent update on those, but there are 2 Senate seats up in Georgia. And as you know, one or both of them may end up going to a runoff.
All right, we are going to leave it there. Senator Chris Coons of Delaware, we thank you very much. And again, congratulations on your own race.
Thank you, Judy.
So we are watching many demographic groups tonight, and one important one, of course, as we've discussed, are Latino voters and who they're supporting in battleground states. Daniel Garza is in Miami tonight. He's the president of the Libre Initiative. He previously served on the White House staff of President George W. Bush. And Patricia Lopez is an editorial writer for the Star Tribune in St. Paul, Minnesota. Patricia Lopez, to you first. We are hearing a lot about Miami-Dade and South Florida, and the last chance I had to speak with Daniel on the program a little more than an hour ago, he was speaking about how well Donald Trump is doing with the Latino, principally Cuban, Hispanic vote in South Florida. Does that tell you something about the larger picture of Latinos in America, or should we just always remember that this is a diverse, when we speak of the Latino group, we're talking about a diverse group of voters?
Yes, diverse and geographically scattered. In Florida, Latino to a larger extent has meant Cubans, although lately now there are Puerto Ricans who left Puerto Rico because of all the devastation on that island. They have formed their own separate bloc. They have a different political identity than the Cubans do. Cubans tend to be much more conservative, and to the extent that they're circulated in the Miami-Dade area, they're gonna look like the Latino vote in that area. But if you go to Mexican Americans in Texas, if you go to Puerto Ricans in Florida and New York, if you go to Dominicans on the East Coast, it's all gonna look very different.
So Daniel Garza, to you, given that, we can't, I guess my question is, we can't really extrapolate what's happened in Miami and say this is applied to whether the president can appeal to Latinos across the country.
Well, Judy, actually, we're starting to get some exit polls, and it's showing that Biden is not performing actually at the level of Hillary in 2016 with Latinos. In the Rio Grande Valley, for example, Hillary was plus 40, and in 2016, the exit poll shows that it's plus 19. I live in the Rio Grande Valley, and you could see the level of excitement and the car caravans of Latinos promoting Trump. I had never seen that kind of energy before. Even now, it's starting to affect down ballots in Miami-Dade. Maria Elvira Salazar has been called the winner over Donna Shalala. This was Eliana Ross-Layton's seat that was taken by a Democrat, and Carlos Jimenez has in District 26 has now been called, and this was another seat that was lost by Carlos Curbelo. And so this is a 70% Latino population. It's not just Cubans, it's Venezuelans, it's Colombianos, and in Homestead, it's Mexican Americans. So the Hispanic vote now is starting to affect down ballots.
Patricia Lopez, what about that? What more could Joe Biden be saying to Latino voters? And again, recognizing they're different, they're not a group that is monolithic. What could he be, should he be saying, should have been saying to them in this campaign?
I think to the extent that, he could have said anything differently, it might have been a little bit more about that speaks to their issues overall, not just immigration, but I would want to see actually more numbers. I find it hard to believe that that many Mexican Americans have changed that much. It doesn't seem logical given, the president's treatment of that community, his consistent demeaning of them. But, the exit polls are the exit polls. I guess we'll need to see what the actual polls say, the votes.
And that does raise the question, Daniel Garza. I mean, when you think back to what President Trump said on his very first day, he announced he was running in the summer of 2015. He called Mexicans rapists and murderers. And of course, he has had a very, very consistently strong campaign against not just undocumented immigration, but he's even referred to limiting he has limited legal immigration in this country. I'm curious about, go ahead, what were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say, to be clear, he was talking about some immigrants who were coming in as rapists.
I ain't
and
gonna lie, I'm
murderers.
probably
But
not
Judy,
gonna see the
to
end
your
of this
point,
tonight.
and the question you just asked, what Biden should not have said was that he was going to phase out fracking or phase out oil production, especially with Latinos in South Texas who depend on these kind of jobs. He should have promoted educational freedom and school choice and empower the parents. Latino parents care a lot about these kind of issues. He should have also not promoted more Obamacare and Medicare for all that would wipe out employer-based
They both look very
insurance. All these
untrustworthy.
things matter to Latina women
I said,
and
like,
Latino
both
men.
of their
And I think in
pictures
South
just
Texas,
look
they
very
got the message loud and
untrustworthy.
clear that
His slick back
this
is
agenda
blowing
was
mine.
not something they could embrace.
And what about that, Patricia Garza? I mean, what Garza is describing is, frankly, a more conservative political worldview.
He looked like a white, but he's a Hispanic.
Many people assume of many Latino voters.
He seems to suggest
He one of them
that
people
the
like
best
you
way
see
to
in there,
appeal
and it's
to
like mad like
Latinos is for Joe Biden to have run as a
Spanish people in there. You like the only
I think,
black dude, and you see the white
Mexican
guy. You like, look
Americans
at
and
all
the
these
whole broad
Mexicans, and
spectrum
he
of
like, nigga,
Latino
I'm one of
voters
them.
are not among them politically. There are some Republican Mexican Americans, there are Democratic Mexican Americans, and you can't make the mistake of thinking that one message is going to appeal to all of them. Certainly, there is a conservative
numbers
element
on all these channels is
for which
different
the
too.
They
principles
are,
that
bro. That's
Daniel
out of
just
you.
laid
You
out
can't
are going
really
to have some
trust it for
appeal.
real.
But I think by and large, they still
How do I know the
seem
truth?
to tilt the other way. They want better public schools. They want health care. They want immigration that is comprehensive and that assures them of a place here and out of the shadows. A lot of them want all of those things. Can there be Republican messages that appeal to some Latinos? Of course there can.
Patricia Lopez, Daniel Garza, we thank you both. I mean, it's important for all of us to remember. We assume a group of voters are all thinking alike at our peril. So we appreciate both of you, and we will come back to you as the night goes on. Thank you. We do have another call to make in the presidential race, and that is the Show Me State, Missouri. President Trump, the Associated Press is declaring Donald Trump the winner. This is a state the president won by 18.5%. in 2016, and the AP is saying that with 44% of the expected vote in, right now Donald Trump has 58% of the vote, but they are saying they don't see a path for Joe Biden. Not a surprise. That is a state that is Republicans
This
have been
evil
able to count on
motherfucker,
for
son.
some time.
It's like watching a super
We do
villain.
have our own reporters in 2 important states. Every state's important.
This nigga is a
But 2 of
super
the states that
villain,
we're
son.
watching so closely tonight. Stephanie Sy is in Phoenix, and Dan Bush is in Pennsylvania. Stephanie, I'm going to come to you first. You've been reporting on the political breakdown, if you will, in Arizona. Democrats would dearly love to pick off Arizona from the Republicans. And we've been talking about the Latino vote for the last few minutes. What are you hearing? What are you seeing at this hour?
Well, we are hearing a lot, Judy. In fact, there's a big developing story here in Maricopa County where we are getting unofficial results. With 70% of the vote accounted for in the state of Arizona right now, Biden is leading President Trump 55% to 44%. Now, that is in Maricopa County, which, as I've been saying, Judy, is where most of Arizona's population lives. Also, that competitive Senate race here where Democrats are hoping to flip another Senate seat.
I burped.
Democrat Mark Kelly, again, in these early results from Maricopa County, is leading Senator Martha McSally 55%
Hey, Martha
to 44%.
McSally, let's get it.
Now, I should caveat this. That is with about 1.4
Mark Kelly looked like one of them gargoyles. You remember that? You remember that cartoon?
Tabulated. There are about 248,000 ballots that Maricopa County still has to count. And the reason I mention that is because Donald Trump beat Hillary Clinton in Maricopa County by about 44,000 votes. So those votes do matter. But again, with 70% of the state in, Maricopa County seems to be strongly leaning toward the Democrat Vice President Biden. I will also say that we're looking at some of the exit polling, those AP VoteCast surveys, and looking into those. And that also looks like an opportunity for Democrats. Women, for example, favored Trump in the exit polls 54% to 44%. Another group I like to look at here in Arizona is the retirees. Big retirement community here, Judy. And older voters were split. They handed Trump a big win in 2016 in Arizona, but in the AP exit polling, they were largely split between Biden and Trump. And finally, as you mentioned, the Latino vote. When the AP looked at the Latino voters in Arizona, they were looking at Mexican Americans because Mexicans make up about 80% of the Latino voters here. And they also account for about a quarter.
I hope after the election,
Arizona's
I stop getting all these random ass texts.
Yo, son.
Went for Biden 67%.
Let me see if I still got it, bro. Them niggas be smoking, man, bro.
Again, in Maricopa County, which is where the vast majority of Arizona
And they think they was slick, like.
We'll be watching for results from soon.
Nigga would text me with like black names, like, yo, Shamali here. Did you vote? Like, nigga, I don't know nobody named no Shamali. Hold on, let me see if y'all can see this shit. Y'all can't really see this shit. But
Mark Kelly feels so confident tonight that he has already planned an event tonight in Tucson.
Very, very interesting.
I'm gonna send it in the Discord.
If that is a pickup
so y'all can
for the
see
Democrats
it.
for Joe Biden, that is significant. That's 11 electoral votes in Arizona. Of course, it's early. The state has not been called yet. But what you're saying about the county around
check the
Phoenix,
Discord, bro.
Maricopa County, and what you're telling us about Pima, all of that very, very important. I want to talk about that with Amy Walter in just a minute. But right now, I want us to hear from our Dan Bush, who's in Philadelphia, looking at what's happening in the state of Pennsylvania. Dan, we're hearing it's just going to take a while for some of these votes to be counted.
That's right, Judy. A record number of mail-in and absentee ballots cast here in.
Yo, what's wrong with you? The way you responded to me for contact again.
Washington on a call with reporters. They didn't expect a clear picture in Pennsylvania until after 1:30 p.m. But so far, Judy, things from an election security standpoint are going relatively smoothly. The Secretary of State, Kathy Boockvar, came out a little while ago here, and she said things are going remarkably smoothly. She said very few instances of voter intimidation here in Philadelphia. A lot of businesses in this downtown area have boarded up, anticipating protests. Officials closed down some roads.
Oh
There have been
man,
some
sorry if
helicopters
you
hovering
look,
overnight.
man,
But
scroll
I did
up,
not
join the
see
Discord if
any
you're not in
issues
the
at polling
Discord,
sites I was at.
just
I
in
have
case
not
you know what
heard
I'm
of
saying,
any
missed
issues.
it. But
And
you know what I
another
mean, I
thing to
can't post
keep
it in
an
the
eye
chat.
on here is this issue of voter fraud. This has been something that President Trump has been talking about now for months, claiming that mail-in voting leads to fraud. But officials on the ground here all day long have been saying that that is just not the case. That's not what they see. Republican officials, Judy, I just spoke with a Republican in charge of a very large county in central Pennsylvania, a Republican stronghold, who said, quote, none whatsoever, none voter fraud that she saw whatsoever. She said things are going for them very smoothly. They're getting through counting the absentee ballots that they've gotten in so far, and they haven't had any problems also with these drop boxes, these ballot drop boxes where voters can hand in their absentee ballots, and those are
Yo,
under
what the
lock and
fuck?
key, under
On this shit
surveillance,
is
being watched by
131, 108.
sheriff's
But on
deputies.
CNN, this shit is
Some of these
98,
boxes that I
95.
saw, those are also
Biden?
subject to criticism from
Yeah,
Republicans that
Biden.
they were not secure. But officials here are saying that their system is working as well as could be expected.
All of that
The Dems in the House.
to know that they're not seeing any
Wait, what'd you say?
evidence of fraud.
Did who win the House?
They're not seeing
Did the
I
Republicans?
think they said the Democratic Party won the House.
Oh, okay.
The issue is that there's just a large
We already had the
number
House,
of
so-
ballots that came
Yeah.
in early, either absentee or regular early voting, and they just have more than they can count in just a matter of a few hours, and that's why it's going to extend into tomorrow. But very encouraging that you're saying they don't have security problems. So to both of you, thank you. We are clearly going to be coming back to you as Arizona, Pennsylvania couldn't be more important in this election tonight. So we do have a call to make in the House of Representatives, and that's in the state of Florida. Democrat Debbie Mucarsel-Powell, she is the first House incumbent of the night to lose her re-election effort. She was defeated by Republican Carlos Jimenez.
Yo, I'm proud of Hickenlooper, man. If you can win with a name like that, you a real one.
Losing. Now we don't have that race declared,
You a real one.
so we're not saying that that's happened, but that is not good news for Democrats in Florida. I think we are moving ahead with the next interview. Okay. We're turning to those with some personal experience in campaigns. Thank you. Katie Walsh, a senior advisor to the Republican National Committee, a former deputy chief of staff in the Trump White House, and Joel Benenson, a Democratic strategist. He led the polling operation for the Obama-Biden campaigns in 2008 and 2012. Thank you both. I appreciate it. I need help figuring out which direction to look and where we're going next.
That's why
Joel,
use this. PBS was a good pick though, because they're not biased at all. They just talking like nigga. We don't know what's going on, but it's going on. You feel me? This is what we hear.
Good numbers coming out of
This is what we heard, my nigga. We don't know.
And the potential for more
What
good
y'all
news
niggas
for him.
say?
But we're also seeing
I'm fucking with their coverage.
Florida that are,
huh?
We're not
CNN shit looking more accurate.
Yeah, dead ass.
What does the overall picture look like to you right now?
Well, I think this is, the upside and the downside of
Can't lie, this shit put me
early
to bed,
voting and
Bro, it's so
we increase voter participation, but it makes the
boring.
counting a lot harder. It was pretty easy when everybody had to vote at the same time pretty much every day, one day. But we increased voter turnout, and it is going to complicate the counting in all these states, and in particular the battleground states that we're focused on. So, it's real nail-biting time for people in the boiler room at the campaigns and for those of us who are having these conversations. But you just have to be patient. It makes it harder. You've got a ton of early votes that have to be counted. And then you've got the votes that came in today, and there's nothing you can do. You can't. It's like, you can't rush Mother Nature. Well, you can't rush the counting of votes on Election Day anymore.
You sure can't, and that's not something we want to do. But given that, Katie Walsh, what are you feeling good about right now, and what are you either biting your nails, or if you're not a nail biter, what are you worried about?
Huh?
I said
Well, we
Biden
feel
getting
very good
smoked
about
in
Florida. I
Michigan.
mean, the
Oh
margins
yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
Miami-Dade
Michigan not
County
playing
are
with
not
that Biden
nearly
money,
what
bro.
Joe Biden needs to carry that state. So we feel very good about Florida. We also feel really good about Michigan right now. The early counties coming out of Michigan are exceeding our projections for what we need, where we need to be to win the state. And so we also feel that way about Wisconsin. So I think at this point, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida are all things we feel very positive about.
Tell me what you're seeing in Michigan that makes you feel
Nah, that's kind of crazy that Michigan is a
encouraged.
Sure,
red
there's a
state.
Sure, there are a couple rural counties in Michigan, one being
OD.
Eaton County,
I
where
feel
we're
like there's
outperforming
mad
kind of our
like
projections by about 5
large
percentage points.
black
And so if that
populations
holds
in
with some of the other
the
more
state of
rural
Michigan.
counties in Michigan, that would lead to
I'm trying to
believe that
think. I
there's
don't
been some
even
very
know
high
another
turnout
place in
in
Michigan
outstate Michigan, which
besides
would be good for the
Detroit.
president.
And I want to ask you about Wisconsin because that's a state that has just seen
Pontiac,
Oh
an
yeah,
enormous
Pontiac.
increase in COVID
Lansing,
cases, and
Niggas.
the expectation
like
was that might
But
not
that
be
maybe the
niggas.
enough.
population is
So
small,
what
but
are
it's
you
just
seeing?
highly dense population of niggas.
We're not seeing a ton out of Wisconsin yet, to be honest. I mean, there's very little
Kind of like New York,
kind of
maybe.
hard numbers that
You know
we've
what I'm
seen come out
saying?
of Wisconsin, but
Yeah,
we do have some of the rural vote coming
It's
in, and
dense
whenever that
populations
kind
of
of
niggas, but are we the
overperforms
majority in New
our
York? I wouldn't say
projections,
so.
that's a small good indicator. So we wouldn't want to obviously
you're right.
extrapolate too much from that, but it's definitely positive.
Joel Benenson, we've seen the president, the people around the
I don't
president
even think
say,
there's niggas
okay,
in the
we know Joe
Dakotas.
Biden may do well in the cities, and we know he's doing better in the suburbs
Facts.
than in the past.
I,
That
I
I
never
Democrats
actually
met
have
looked
no
it up.
black
done,
person from
but
like South
we
or
can
North
run up the
Dakota.
vote in rural
I looked it
areas.
up
Why
when
are the rural
when that
voters
girl
such
had
a
got
challenge
popular,
for Democrats?
that white girl, because she from one of them
Well,
shits.
you know,
You
they're
know,
That ass. My
they're
nigga
both
Jay
of them
said the
shits is
oftentimes,
Wolverines,
average like
Spartans, and
you know,
Pistons
around
feeling
like
that
smack.
1%.
the
Like it's
establishment
like
doesn't
single digit
recognize
percentage.
them.
Yeah,
I don't
OD.
think
It's very
it's just
small ass
a
percentages of
Democratic
niggas
issue
out
with
there,
rural
bro.
voters.
I don't know.
I mean, they are less populated. They're less diverse. And I think the economy in the rural economy in America is probably feeling a little different than what has really become a very positive and energetic gig economy and more technologically advanced economy. And so it's a challenge. But, you know, look, you're going to win. You got to win where the voters are, too. And you can't give up on suburban voters. And I think Democrats have made a lot of inroads there. And I think as this night plays out, we're going to see that continue to inure to Vice President Biden's benefit. Even in some of the states that Katie mentioned, there are some where Donald Trump is leading. She feels good about Wisconsin. Only half the votes have been counted there yet. So I think there are a lot of votes to come in. We know, as I said, suburban voters make up half the electorate in the United States. But conservative rural voters tend to be very conservative. There aren't a lot of swing voters in those areas. Republicans have problems in the urban areas. They have problems in the cities. They have problems in the suburbs this year where more people live.
And I think Katie Walsh is somebody who's just sheerly looking at the numbers. You would think, okay, more people live in the cities. A lot of people live in the suburbs. How can you possibly make up the difference by counting on rural voters? So, I mean, that is a question. I mean, it's not as if the president's not going to get any votes in the cities or any votes in the suburbs. But the suburbs in particular, and you and I talked about this earlier this evening, are turning out to be a challenge for him this year.
Yeah, as we talked about earlier, there's some suburban women that I think don't particularly like the president's tone.
Biden getting busy in
we've known
Iowa?
that for a long time now, and so I don't think
random.
we've been banking that we were going to get
Yeah,
their
that's
support.
crazy.
And so in our models and in our projections on how we were going to win
He was
states, we
getting
didn't
busy
count a
just
lot of
now
suburban
too.
women in those
That
numbers.
ass.
One of
Man
the
putting
things
up
I
his
think is
numbers
interesting
right
with
now in
Joel
Iowa. I wouldn't
mentioning rural
expected
voters
that
being
shit
harder to
at
get for
all.
Democrats, the irony to me on that is that Joe Biden's actually the Democrat candidate that should be most attractive to rural voters. I mean, this is Scranton, blue-collar Democrat Joe Biden, who, by all accounts, is the most
Nevada don't
mainstream
even got
Democrat
their
that
shits in yet.
ran in the primary.
Niggas
So
ain't
he
even do
should
their
have been more
homework yet.
attractive to the kind of rural voter, and he's just
All right,
not
we coming
showing
down
anything
to the
will
last
connect
10
with them
minutes,
very
man.
much.
We
I
gonna
think
get out of
they
here at
thought that he
11.
would
You
raise
feel me?
taxes. I think they thought that he'd be
Just
soft
wanted
on
to kick
China.
it, you know what I'm saying? Lighten the
Positions that are
lighten the
just
mood, you know what I'm
drastically
saying? Give a little,
unpopular with
build a little
kind of rural or
community with the
blue-collar
peoples and
America, if
shit.
you
Drink
will.
some water,
Very
sip
hard
your
for him to make
wines,
inroads in
do
those
your
communities. And so I
cocaines,
think we're
you
going
know
to
what I'm
end up
saying?
pulling up more rural voters.
Regardless of who win though,
Joe
you
Biden's
still a
campaign
nigga, so
thinks
we
he
got an
would, and I
uphill
think it's going to
battle, bro.
offset any loss might have in the suburbs.
Certainly going to be questions we are asking as we
Dead
go through these
ass.
voter surveys.
Biden
with
wins. He's a very
40,000
pro-cop motherfucker, and if
Americans
you know
who
what
were
I'm saying, we
surveyed
want to
as they
rally
figured out
against
who
the
they're going to vote
police,
for this
then
year. Katie Walsh,
we still got an
Joel
uphill uphill battle on that front.
And we'll be coming
So,
back to you. And now we want to go to the White House to our
don't
own
forget your peoples
Yamiche
that really,
Alcindor.
really
Yamiche,
need You know what
The
I'm saying?
Trump
We can't,
team watching
regardless
all
of who
this
wins, we
very
can't do another
closely.
4 of just, you know what I'm saying, going
What are
back
they
to
telling
brunching
you?
and traveling. And then when
They
another
are
election
watching this
come around,
very,
like,
very
oh my God,
closely,
things are
Judy. And what I can
terrible.
say is that
Vote
they're
this
still
other
feeling
terrible
very, very
candidate now so
optimistic
we
that the
can feel
president has
better.
multiple pathways to get to that critical
That's exactly what's going to happen.
to be reelected. Now, I want to talk about some states in particular. The first is Ohio. Trump campaign officials are telling NewsHour that they see that state as tighter than they would have hoped and believed it
They're
would be.
gambling
That
still.
being said, the
Facts.
president has been to Ohio 5 times since October, but we did see Joe Biden go to Cleveland yesterday trying to make a bid for that state that President Trump won by 8 points in 2016. They still are looking at Ohio as
Yo,
something that
black
they
people
can
just
pull
be on
away
the
from,
news
especially because
bodying
they
this
feel like
shit,
a lot of
son.
their voters voted
Facts.
in person
Like, we
today.
just swagged
All
this whole
Democratic
news
voters
shit
mailed
out.
in their
Like,
votes or voted early. Another vote I want to talk
I
about,
ain't know
another state I
Cleveland
want
and
to talk about
Akron
is
was so close to
Wisconsin,
each other.
another critical state. The president
yeah,
says,
it's like
and
Brooklyn and Queens, you
senior
feel me?
officials
I
say
see.
that Wisconsin is still a state that they're hoping they can win, but that they see as underdogs, see the Trump campaign as underdogs. They're looking specifically, as what Katie was just talking about, suburban women and seniors, trying to figure out if they can get those numbers up high enough. They're looking at specific counties, including southern Milwaukee County. That being said, the Trump campaign, the thing that is really something that I've been hearing from all sorts of people that are close to the president, they're feeling very, very good about the Latino vote. And I want to put a note on this. Latino voters are, we could say it's one big group, but they're so different, Judy. As someone who grew up in Miami, I can tell you that Cuban Americans who vote mostly for Republicans in Miami are much different than Puerto Ricans who live in Central Florida and Orlando, as well as Mexicans who are living in Texas, as well as all sorts of other Latino voters. The president was making the pitch that Joe Biden, Vice President Biden, that he would bring back socialism, specifically making that message for Republicans, Cubans, Nicaraguans who fled communism to come to this country. That the Trump campaign.
Yo, you heard
feels
about that
like
story
might
about the
run
niggas
up the numbers
falling
for the
into a
Latino vote. If
sinkhole
those
and
numbers
then
hold,
having to
the
stay
president will
still
be able to say that
so the
Yo,
rats
do
don't
better
swarm him?
among
I know
Latinos
one thing.
than
He
other
better sue the
Republicans.
shit out of the
Therefore,
city
Democrats
or
continue to
Bro.
whoever
say that the
owns that
president's
portion of
rhetoric, as well as his
sidewalk.
actual actions on
Bro, that's
immigration,
so
separating
wicked, son.
family as well as
That's so
stifling
fucked up.
legal
Like, I
Why it
can't
immigration,
took
as well as
the
imagine,
why it
illegal
bro.
took the
immigration,
firefighters
that
half an
might
hour
hurt
to
him.
get
But we'll
there?
have to watch
That's a
this space closely because
that's
that could really
OD.
be a big topic as we look at these election results.
Nasty
Not to
shit.
mention the
Would
fact
you
that
have
Joe
have
Biden
been
is
able
not
to do that
advocating
shit? Chat, y'all would have
socialism.
been
We
able to do
found
that
out that
shit?
bitch somehow.
For sure.
Small point.
We should say that, right?
It was in the
Small
Bronx? I
point.
didn't
He
know
is
it
a
was in the
capitalist.
Bronx. That's crazy.
All right, Yamisha, now let's go to John
Nastiest
Yang
shit I
with
ever
the
heard of.
Biden campaign
Son,
in Delaware.
boy,
John,
that's a horror movie
we're
right
asking
there.
each one of you, what are you hearing
Horrible.
while we wait for results to come in?
Patience is what they are urging. The Biden officials, that's been their message all along, that this is going to take some time.
This Andrew Yang cousin.
But it's also
You ain't
said
slick,
that
nigga.
asking them about individual states and also Democrats in individual
That nigga
states.
named
It's
John
the flip
Yang.
side of what Yamisha's saying.
This nigga Andrew Yang think he fucking
optimism
slick.
about Ohio,
I knew this nigga looked
about the
familiar,
numbers
bro.
they're seeing coming back from there, and particularly the numbers as opposed to where the votes are outstanding. They feel that they have a shot. They aren't willing to say that it's a state they're definitely going to win, but they feel good about it. North Carolina, Arizona, they're also looking at those states. Wisconsin, where the Milwaukee says they will not be able to report full numbers until much later tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning.
Come
but
on,
they're
bro.
still hopeful there.
All right, John Yang
Niggas
in
outside
Wilmington,
wildin'.
Delaware. Thank you, Mish. And we're
John
going to continue
Yang.
to
This
touch
nigga
base with
Andrew
those
Yang
public
really
media
thought he was
reporters
slick. Nigga
around
said,
the
just change my
country.
name to
Amna
John.
has that. Amna.
Thanks, Judy. It is the state that kicked off this election season. We turn now to Andrew Bott of Iowa Public Television. Andrew, good to see you. Let's talk about turnout and what we're seeing so far in the state of Iowa. There was a new rule passed that allows officials to process the early ballots sooner than they did in the past. What does that mean for the ballots that were cast, for the turnout you saw today, and what it could mean for which way Iowa goes?
It means a few things. Iowa Secretary of State reported out that almost 1 million early votes and absentee votes were recorded. And these absentee ballots, the small counties, the big counties were able to start that process of opening up those envelopes here in the past 24 to 48 hours.
Oh, look at all the
Means that
Bronx
this first
bonding in
early
the
wave
chat.
of
Oh,
data that's coming in will be a lot of that early
It's like when the
vote,
dirty kids
especially in
find each
these
other.
Democratic, more urban, suburban districts. So it can give you a little bit of a sense that where Iowa's headed, if Democrats don't have a big advantage here in the beginning, as you've seen in a lot of these states, Iowa's a state where they're not coming
Biden
out
just
with a
put
big
up another
advantage.
4 points,
These rural
135. You
counties are
heard?
going to play catch up, and we're seeing some of those
Hey,
signs already
yo.
in areas.
Andrew, give us a sense really quickly in a few seconds of some
Niggas
of the
really
top
outside
issues
wilding.
that Iowa is
Wildin'.
taking with them to the polls this year.
You know, they're focusing on the pandemic, they're focusing on the economy, and Donald Trump's on the ballot. He won this state by more than 9%. The real prize here is the Senate race, and what a lot of national viewers will want to see. One of the things I was looking for was, is Joni Ernst trailing Donald Trump in votes in the early
Alabama
vote, or is
just
she
been with the
matching him
racist
vote
shit,
for
so
vote?
like that's
And it's
just
looking
it.
like there is not a big right now, at least as far as the early vote is coming in.
That is a key Senate race we're going to keep an eye on, and results coming from Iowa as well. Andrew Bott of Iowa PBS joining us tonight. Thank you so much.
Fuck Iowa,
And Judy,
man.
back to you.
Nobody be in
All right,
Iowa.
thank you very much.
They don't, you think Iowa got
We're
good
going to
weed?
ask you to stay with us. We're going to take
Nah.
a short break, but we will be right here with
It's
our
a cold ass
special
place.
election coverage when we come back. More results at the top of the hour.
They don't even got the texture. Only thing they grow in Iowa like wheat, potatoes, and shit.
Yo, let me tell you something. My geography is terrible. I couldn't tell you where Iowa was at on the map, nigga. You asked me to point to Iowa on the U.S. map. Nigga, you point to it. You help me.
It's middle of the country. I give Iowa up there by like the Wisconsins and shit.
Okay, yeah, it sound like a Wisconsin neighborish type of nigga.
Iowa is literally touching Wisconsin right next door.
Okay.
And we have to talk about the first
I've been to Wisconsin before.
Listen, I mean, I went to college for a little bit. One of my classes was geography.
Son. Uh-oh, they arguing?
Stand back and stand by the radical left.
Will you shut up, man?
Listen, who is on your list?
Will you shut up, man?
Gentlemen, I think
this
we've
is
ended
so
this.
He's going to pack the court.
We have
not going to give a list.
We have ended this segment.
Yo, they was scrapping that first debate.
Screwing things up. You were a senator. And
You're
by
the
way,
worst
you were a
president
vice-
America has ever had.
Hey,
Come
Jim,
on.
Jeff, I think both men in a way showed their true colors in that debate.
Yo,
But
Jeff,
let's
tell me
start
what
with
you
the
think, you old
president.
fuck.
Did he hurt or help himself with voters that night?
I was thinking, kind of like the second Lincoln-Douglas debate, wasn't it, in 1858? No, the
Yo, niggas, I got a better chance of showing you where the Ivory Coast is than Iowa. Facts.
With a second-term agenda, and to make.
Yo, is that an American thing where we like just trash at geography like most of us? Because I don't, bro.
Yeah, it is.
There were so many things that the
I don't even remember like trying to learn the map. Like I don't even think there was an attempt in my life to ever learn the U.S. map.
Any politician ought to be able to say, "Of course, I condemn white supremacy."
I think I've had a geography class and I was like, man, fuck that.
Disrupting things, and I think to a large extent, his anger at Biden, his basic personality, prevented him from doing the kind of debate performance that his advisors had wanted him to do.
Well, it certainly didn't have the dignity of the Lincoln.
I tell you this right now, niggas can't tell you what Arkansas is.
Vulnerabilities in the debate were exposed for the former vice president as well.
I think they could have been had Trump given Biden the opportunity.
Niggas can't tell you what state is touching Arkansas.
Hell no, nigga. Is that? Hold on, let me take a guess. Right? Let me see. It's near like Illinois and shit.
He wasn't particularly good on explaining
One
what
state
he'd
over.
been doing for 47 years because
One
the
state over.
president didn't let Biden
Knew it.
get himself into
I
the
be
kind of
knowing.
traps
I
we
be
saw
knowing.
in some
This
earlier
fucking. You see this forehead, nigga?
and so the fact that the president was
That's a
so
lot of
much the
fucking knowledge in
aggressor,
here.
in my opinion, really saved Biden from what might
Oh
have
shit, yo,
been
my
a
fucking
much
computer
less,
dying.
successful
Nah, it's 11 anyway. Yo, my niggas. We gonna chop it up in the Discord in the morning. If y'all not in the Discord, matter of fact, I'm gonna post it one more time before we dip. If y'all not in the Discord, join the Discord because that's where we be at. That's where we put all like, you know what I'm saying, the shit we can't put on the timeline. Yeah, it's in the Discord, you feel me? So that's the link right there, you feel me? We gonna what day we checking in again? Thursday? Or Friday? Nah, probably Friday because we got lobby wars on Thursday. Yeah, so we gonna check in with the peoples again on Friday. If you got us on Clubhouse, we live tomorrow though at 2. You know what I'm saying?
This clubhouse.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you in the chat. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. Fucking. So yeah, if y'all got Clubhouse, holla at us on there. We'll be there tomorrow. Yeah, and if you don't know what Clubhouse is, join the fucking Discord because we about to talk about that shit right the fuck now. But have a good night, man. Regardless of what happens, regardless who wins, you're gonna be alive in the morning. You're gonna be breathing. You're gonna have a roof. You're gonna have food to eat, my niggas. No stressing this bullshit. We're gonna be straight. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna stop back in on Friday. Make sure everybody Gucci. You feel me? You heard?
The winner in Idaho, the Gem State. That was a state.
Thank you, my nigga. See,
Alexa's
the fucking queen, bro. But yeah, we out of here, y'all. Later.